The gi spot. I'd hit that.
Welcome to the Gi Spot podcast. My name's Rachel Bradshaw and I am back from Melbourne from Nationals.
You did it. Do-do-do. Not only did you do the competition,
Yes.
but you also changed up the intro, which you told me you were going to do. I just didn't know with what. But congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you.
Do you
Yeah.
know what was my favourite part about that whole thing? Because, we've well established that I live vicariously through you in the competition realms of things.
Mm-hmm.
My favouriteest part of all time from that entire weekend was the meme or the thing that you put together
Yes.
at the end with you and Grant.
Oh, I did that yesterday.
What is a soulmate?
Yeah.
And you two being on the mats at the same time.
Oh, it was
doing-
absolutely hilarious. So on the Saturday was the gi day and we were looking at the time, brackets coming out, and there was about 5 minutes between us, but we knew that we were on mats next to each other.
Yeah.
And so we laughed earlier in the day thinking, wouldn't it be funny if because it adjusts all day, wouldn't it be funny if we ended up on the mats at the same time? And sure enough, we absolutely did end up rolling at the same time on the mats next to each other, weren't able to coach each other or anything like that, and then came together at the end for a big hug. So it was really cute.
It was awesome. And, so telling too as a husband and wife, like what an experience.
Yeah.
First time to Nationals for both of you.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
And the experience overall out of 10?
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. We'll totally do it again next year with a bigger crew if we can. So how's your week been?
Week's been good. Quick retro. Week's been fine. Not a problem at all. Do want to say, though, one other thing on the competition. First time in history, 8 female black belts in the competition.
Yes.
Fucking enormous for Australia, right?
Yeah,
like that's
so
just huge.
We made history.
Yep.
Got zero acknowledgement or shout out about it from the promoter. Someone sent a message off, and anyway, it is what it is. We have to shout for our own glory sometimes. And
so
we did that.
one of the episodes coming up soon. Hopefully, we're going to get the women together to have a talk about what that experience was, because I just think that is something made in history that we are not going to let go of, and we're going to celebrate and shout from the rooftops. However, not what today is about.
No, today we have very special guests in studio. Cannot wait to introduce them. Friends for a long time. They've come to our academy. We haven't quite got to yours yet, but thank you for that. I'd like to welcome and introduce Xavier Sales and Marie Sales. Welcome. Yay!
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Very happy to be here.
Yay!
Always
Welcome to the MK Ranch.
Now, I usually say welcome to paradise because Central Coast is lovely, but we've not turned on the weather at all today. I got drowned on my way here. All my hair's frizzy and wet. I didn't even bother. But how long did it take you to get here?
It's about an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
That's not too bad. I actually
Didn't have much traffic, which was great.
Because where are you coming from?
We're going to be
Box
late.
Hill.
Box Hill. Okay.
Box
Yep.
Hill.
Yep.
down in
And a half to
Sydney.
get here. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad run either now with all the motorways and everything like that. So it comes out pretty quick. I've got friends out at Penrith, and I drove out there the other day. And, if you think about 20 years ago, how long it would take us to get from here to Penrith.
Yeah.
Whereas now it was literally like an hour and 20 minutes and I was on a doorstep. So
There's the
that's
M1.
pretty mad. Yeah.
If we stopped for a coffee.
Stop for
Yeah.
coffee on the way to
And still made it with time.
Got a coffee.
Yeah. Caffeine's important, right?
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules, because I do know how busy you are. You're both, you run an academy, you're business owners, parents, everything. You've got everything going on. So, it means the world to us that you could be here today.
No, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And we've got lots to talk about today. So I guess, we were talking offline just about the flow and how it works and all the rest of it. And one of the things that I love about what we do here that I feel is kind of a little bit unique to us is we do a real deep dive in getting to know the person sitting with us. It's, jiu-jitsu is what brings us all together, and jiu-jitsu is a really important part. But when we have people that are taking the time to come and join us, I don't care what your triangle's like. You know, I don't care about you, whether or not you can take the back. What I want to know is who you are as a person.
That's good because I'm not as great as you. So
Great.
It depends in what realm we're talking about.
your thing. Hi, I'm Marie, and I'm still a blue belt.
Well, let's start with that, Marie. Like, how many years ago did you start your journey in jiu-jitsu?
And I'm not going to say 17 years ago because I've been saying that for 5 years.
22.
I think we started jiu-jitsu 20 years ago. I wasn't training 20 years ago. My ex was. And that's when I was first exposed to jiu-jitsu. But I was just saying to Karen that back then there were no females on the mats.
Yep.
And there was only Hope, which I knew of, Hope Douglas, and she was about 13 or 14, and she was the only kid female that I ever saw do a class.
Wow.
So it
13 or
was
14 when Hope was 13
Yes.
or 14.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
training under Marcelo, and he didn't even have the GB logo at the time. It was the octopus.
Yep.
He'd just kind of come here,
And
put
started it
himself
off.
up in
Yeah.
one of the gyms there, like rented a space. So it was about 20 years ago, but we opened up our first gym under Gracie Baja. We were the first franchise to open, and that was about 17 years ago. It was 17 years ago. Because Akasha was 8 weeks old
Oh,
when
wow.
we opened.
Okay, so that's your daughter.
That's my daughter,
Yep.
my oldest daughter.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how old is she now? She's almost
17
She's
next
17.
next month. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
P
17
play.
next month. So
She learned how to walk on the mats.
Yeah.
Kid.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cute.
One of those, what are they called?
The walkers, like the little trolley
Yeah,
things.
she did have
yeah,
the
yeah.
walker.
we had the
She a little,
playpen on the
playpen.
mat, and she was sitting there. We had the walkers, but they learned how to walk, crawl, walk, everything on the mats.
Yep.
They just grew up
Great.
on the
And
mat.
still trained today?
Still trains today.
Yep.
Teachers now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Teaches the kids class.
That's beautiful to watch that full
Yeah.
transition come through, right? That must make you
Yeah.
pretty proud.
Yeah, it does make
So
it really
what did you think, and Xavier, we'll get to you in a second, but we're talking 20 years ago, we're back in the VHS sort of
Yeah.
realms of
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu
I'm that
starting out
old.
in this, yeah. Aren't we all, honey? It's okay. I'm the oldest in the room, you're okay.
Yeah.
What did you first think of jiu-jitsu when you first saw it?
I first thought it was weird. Bunch of men, and people wouldn't wear rash guards back then.
Yep.
So it was just like a bunch of sweaty men all rolling around. I kind of thought it was.
A bit ho-hum.
But, and it took me a while to kind of fall in love with it,
Yep,
if that
yep.
makes sense. Like it was, I feel like with different chapters of my life, there's been different whys.
Yeah.
When we first decided to open up a gym, it was because I had some unfortunate things happen when I was younger, and I really believed in the whole self-defense aspect of
Yep.
jiu-jitsu. But I guess over time, I still believe in that, but there's always been different chapters, different whys.
Yeah.
When I fell in love with jiu-jitsu when I had a goal to compete, and I think that was around 2018.
Oh,
That's how long
wow.
it took me to fall in love with jiu-jitsu. So
Yeah.
it wasn't an instant thing.
Yeah, yeah. You and
was
I have
going
very
back-
similar
back and
paths. Yeah.
forth, and I was trying to find my footing in jiu-jitsu, and it wasn't something that just happened instantly. I think I only started training because I had two kids by a certain point, and I had
Yep.
to lose weight. And it was the only thing I can get to. And then
And
I
not
took
only
time
that, it's
off.
actually quite fun, and it beats running on
Yeah.
a treadmill, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. And
But
it's
it
a
took me a
whole
while
body
to fall in
fitness.
love with it, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can
know that
understand
feeling.
that those people that, come in and you really have to encourage them to just give it time.
Yeah.
Time's a
It's a time
huge
game.
thing. It
Yeah.
is. And I guess one of the things that wasn't made obvious to me back in the early years especially was finding your why.
Yes.
Just turning up, or the why needed to be more than just self-defense, or it needed to be more than just physical
Yeah.
health and things
Yeah.
like that. There needed to be, because it's not an easy sport, right?
Yeah.
It's not an easy art.
Yeah.
There is a lot of mechanisms to it. There's a lot of, it's mentally as challenging as it is physically.
Yeah.
And so to stick with it, because I can understand somebody coming from a self-defense or somebody coming from a health, oh no, this is too hard. It's easier to run on the treadmill.
Yeah.
To still gain that same outcome. So finding your why earlier is probably pretty important too.
I felt back then no one really had a why. It
Yep.
was just people would turn up, They liked rolling, and no one really just knew why they were doing it.
Yeah.
And I think over time, like having the business and the school and having all sorts of people come in, they discovered their why and we discovered our why.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that's how it really just panned out, I guess.
Evolves from there.
Yeah.
How about you? Where is jiu-jitsu in the scheme of your life?
I mean, I started when I was 10.
Yep.
I'm 33 now, so that's 23 years.
Yeah.
Um,
And you started as a 10-year-old because your mum and dad said that you had to, or
my brother came home with my older cousin, and they were learning jiu-jitsu at the time.
Yep.
And they would teach me and my cousin, who was my age,
Yeah.
you know, rear naked choke, ankle lock, what to do, if someone throws a punch, double leg.
Yep.
And then me and my cousin will go, let's roll. Let's try this. Let's spar.
Yeah.
And we do it on carpet. And it would be my older cousin with my other cousin, my brother with me.
Okay.
And then we'd have a match.
So you're rearranging mum's lounge
Yeah,
room to
pretty
go on
much,
the carpet
pretty
and
much.
start doing the
And then
competition.
we realized the carpet was no good because we always have carpet burns. I never used to tap. My cousin would get my back and choke me out, and then my cousin and my brother would try to peel it off. But that's how I got introduced to it.
Okay.
And it just kept growing from there.
Yep.
Um,
Were you automatically in love with it?
I think I was, yeah.
Yeah, because you kind of lit up like a Christmas tree
Yeah.
just then talking about it.
Remember, yeah.
Yeah.
We used to have, because I grew up in Philippines half my life.
Okay.
And in Philippines, the population is very dense. So you have communities.
Yep.
I'd walk out of my house and we were in a cul-de-sac. So all my cousins lived in the same street and all the other kids in the block, we all would meet up after school.
Yep.
And because we trained martial arts and some of the kids there trained boxing, we would have like afternoon fights.
Yep.
We'd put the gloves on. So that's kind of how I grew up.
Yeah.
We'd pull up together, all the boys in the neighborhood. Let's go, you and you. No weight divisions, anything.
Yeah.
I had a broken nose a few times.
Oh, Jesus.
No.
And yet still all friends
your
at
mum.
the end of it, though, too.
Don't tell mum.
You fell off your bike.
I did not kick you in the nose.
Yeah.
It was Fight Club.
Fight
First
Club.
rule about Fight
Yeah.
Club. Don't talk about
Don't talk about Fight Club.
When I was 10, I was getting dropped into that.
And so how old were you when you came to Australia? And
13.
Okay.
13, yeah.
And then you go into a school at that point, or are you
Yeah,
still...
pretty much. So I came here when I was 13 and then I started more formal training from there, put the gi on. We put some mats in our garage
Yep.
and then, gathered a whole bunch of people, started training there, started traveling from Liverpool to Manly to Marcelo's gym. That took us like...
That's a big hike.
Yeah,
was
no
a
car.
big
So we
hike.
jump into a bus,
Wow.
Liverpool station,
Catch a
train, hop off at Greenville, another train to Circular Quay, and then a ferry,
Ferry?
and a 15-minute walk.
Dude,
For
that's
an hour of training.
commitment.
1 hour of training. And then we'll help out mopping the mats and then go home.
And
times
it's
a
so
week.
it makes me laugh when we have students sometimes who go, like the 25-minute drive's too far to come, and I'm like,
You don't know.
you guys
Yeah.
don't know anything. We used to no, you did that. We used to drive an hour and 20 minutes to get to my coach in Newcastle, and did
go.
that
Yep.
3 and 4 and 5 times a week.
Yep.
You like had to. It was like back in the olden days. I used to have to walk 10 miles in the snow just to get to school.
But how scary is it that we're only talking about the 90s?
I know.
Like, it doesn't feel like, when I talk about the olden days, I'm thinking the 1940s, 50s, maybe even the 70s. But
Yeah.
the 90s is an olden day.
yeah.
But it shows you how much jiu-jitsu has grown.
Yes, in such a
is
short
amazing.
period of time.
In a short period of time in
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah,
Big island in the middle of nowhere.
yep,
And it's in
absolutely.
every corner of every city.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And on
Yep.
on every corner in every
Yep.
city as
Yep.
well, just
Yep.
about these
Yep.
days.
Very much
And
so.
people have the luxury now to just go to any gym that's like
Yeah.
5 minutes away.
Have choice. Oh, I'm
That's
going to
it.
go there.
Yeah.
Go here.
Yeah.
Oh, cross training.
And also the freedom of cross training too, right? Like that's not stifled anymore and kind of shut down.
It's
And
evolved now, you know.
yeah, that's right. So there's a lot more openness around it
Yeah.
as well, and you get to make friends,
You get to
Yeah.
make friends.
right? So because of that and because of the landscape and it's changing, we get to have amazing people come and sit in our studio and do a podcast with us about it.
Absolutely. Couldn't be
Yeah.
better.
So okay, so let's take jiu-jitsu off the table for a second. talk, because we know, having Rach on the podcast with us, we know about business and we know how all-consuming a gym can be. But what is it for you guys outside of business? I know travel is important.
Yes.
What else is it that defines you guys as people outside of jiu-jitsu?
Fishing.
Nice. I love fishing. I love it.
Yep.
And I don't care if I catch anything. There's got to be bites because it's a game, right? You're playing that game. There's got to be nibbles.
Yeah.
That's
I went out the other day and she was like, "Are you catching us?" No, I'm just off my boat, chilling out.
Yeah.
Looking at the water, thinking of jumping out, but it's a bit cold.
So why did you go there?
Because it's just calming. It's just calming. Yeah. It's just
another form of meditation.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. And it's because it's so routine. For me and my little spurgy brain, that whole repetitious, throw it out, pull it in, throw it, I know. Yep. I know exactly what I'm going to do, and I'm okay with it in that moment. So this is why jiu-jitsu is hard for me, because I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. It's just exactly the same. Throwing out traps, seeing throwing out traps, seeing what reels back in.
I know how to put a prawn on a hook way easier than I know how to get my hooks in. And so, so fishing, what else?
For me, I'd say I have a background in social work, so I really love just helping people.
Yep.
I love being able to give back. I love raising my kids. I love having the flexibility of just being with them all the time, taking them to activities, doing that kind of stuff with them.
Yeah.
I grew up and my mum was she was a single mum and she didn't really have that time with me.
Yeah.
So I feel like, that's my purpose. I like to be a very present parent.
Yep.
That's beautiful.
That's awesome.
I actually love that.
It's good for me. Yeah.
I mean, we opened our academy, I think the boys were 7 and 9, I want to say, or 9 and 11, something around in that 4-year period. And I worked though, as well. So my time was very limited. I felt like I worked, picked them up, and was always busy during those younger years. Whereas now I have a lot more time. So I'm kind of coming to it maybe a little late, but my boys are like 17 and 19. So when Connor's off from uni, we hang out together at home or go do something, go have a lunch or, so that's really cool. But you get that now with the kids now.
I've been really blessed with jiu-jitsu because when we opened up our gym 17 years ago, the kids were just able to come to work with us.
Yeah.
So they were just always around me.
Yeah.
They've been a part of it. So how many kids and how old are they?
I have 4 kids. Kasha's the oldest, 17. And there's Aurelia, who's 13, Athena, 12, and Azalia. I'm going to forget their names soon because there's so many of them.
Yeah, I know that feeling well.
Did I get all the days right and the ages right?
Sorry, kids, not sorry.
Absolutely beautiful names, by the way.
Yeah, stunning.
It wasn't done on purpose, though. I knew that I wanted to have A, but then they ended up with 6 letters, or starting with A or ending with A.
Oh wow!
And that wasn't done on purpose.
That was just tin-assed. And do they all do jiu-jitsu?
They all do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Except for Aurelia, I have to say she strayed away from jiu-jitsu and she wanted to do soccer. Okay. She's an amazing soccer player.
Yep.
I did want her to do jiu-jitsu at least once a week, but she's a bit she's kind of like once every now and then.
And
she's still in.
Yeah, she's still in.
Yeah.
That's more than okay. As long as we've had this talk before about Connor, who loves water polo.
Yeah.
And he sort of wanted to dip out of jiu-jitsu and just focus on that. I was like, you know what? Let's just keep a toe dipped in like once a week.
Yeah.
Once a week. And it wasn't always every week. Sometimes he'd miss a couple, or if it was like finals period, he'd, not come for quite a few weeks. But we also had him involved in coaching, and so he'd come in to coach the kids and then go home. Yeah. But he's still involved in the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
I find when you own a gym too and the kids are brought up in that gym, they need their breaks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, they're 3, Kasha was 3 when we started, and obviously we just put her in, but there were times where she wanted to do something different.
Yes.
And we had to go, okay, we'll do jiu-jitsu and we'll find something different.
Yeah.
Or there were times where she took breaks, 3-4 month breaks, and we're like, okay, take a break, come back. You eventually have to come back. I'll force my kids to do it. I feel like it's the most important thing for them to know, especially as girls that are growing.
Absolutely.
Even if I tell them they don't have to be great at comp, they don't have to enter comps, they just have to train, even if it's once a week. But now Akasha's come back and she's teaching and she's just,
That's
and even though she's had those breaks throughout the whole time she's been on the mats.
Oh, you would never know.
Found her way back. Yeah, she's found her way back.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
If we keep it around them, keep them involved in some way.
Yep.
Always.
Well, we have to go there every day, so they have no choice but to be involved.
And I think that's important point too, right? Like you guys live and breathe it because it's what keeps the lights on and the food on and everything. So that takes it to a whole different level. Yeah. Whereas for us, we make no secret of the fact that the girls have been told it's mandatory until they're 18.
Yeah.
And again, we're exactly the same. They don't have to compete if they don't want to.
Yeah.
And their levels of intensity can waver anywhere from 1 time a week to 4 times a week, depending on their moods and hormones and God knows what else.
Yeah.
But it is at least once a week on those mats every week without fail. And if we travel, we will identify gyms if we're going away for weeks at a time where we can go and train as well. And they're used to that. And they just don't know any different. Yeah. It's like getting up and going to school. It's something they have to do. They can choose anything else, but just not this. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. And I think for girls, it's empowering.
Hey guys, sorry for the interruption here. We just wanted to shout out to all our Central Coast and New South Wales listeners. One of our great mates has started a new business, Central Coast Supplements.
Damien's a great guy who also happens to be a veteran. And as you guys know, My Broken Productions and Iconic are huge supporters of our veterans and first responders. So we'd love to see you guys get behind this awesome new business.
If you're looking for protein supplements, healthy snacks for the kids, or just all-round better health options for the family, check out Damien's website, centralcoastsupplements.com.au.
And guys, make sure you remember to use the discount code GISPOT. That's GI space SPOT. GISPOT at the checkout. Now, where were we, Rach?
It really is.
Yeah.
We have people that come in and they say, we want to put our boys in jiu-jitsu, but not our girls. No, that's when I'm just like, my head nearly explodes.
Just
I'm
as
like, they need it just as much. Like
If
girls
not
need
more.
it.
Yeah.
If not more.
If not more.
Yeah,
It's like
reasons, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like girls need it for their empowerment, their self-belief, their boundary setting, their ability to have self-defense.
That's right.
Those are the really main reasons for women and girls. For boys, it's like it teaches them boundaries.
Yeah.
It teaches them self-control. It teaches them confidence and how to walk away rather than engage through ego. Like it teaches them a different kind of mindset with it. So it's just as important, although slightly different, for both boys and girls to learn.
And it's not just the physical part of it. I saw Akasha at a comp, and Akasha's always been very timid, and we always thought she would never be able to kind of stand up for herself. It was like, we just need to work on her a little more. But we recently went to a comp, and she was bullied by someone much bigger. And she really just stood her ground and became so verbal. She turned around and said, "Excuse me, what did you say?"
That's awesome.
And she just seeing that level of confidence. And it was an official
walking around,
official
expediting
walking around.
everyone.
Yep.
And he came on, he apologized, I spoke to him. But he spoke up to Akasha in a very rude way.
She had a coach's band, and there were only supposed to be 2 coaches in that area. But as a teenager, she didn't understand that rule. She thought, I've got a coach's band. I'm recording Xavier while he's competing. And he came over and he said, you need to leave, but he didn't give her the reason.
Right.
And she's like, but I've got a coach's band, so I can be here. And he's like, no, you need to leave. And then he walked off, and then when he came back, he goes, you know what, I'm gonna put an advantage on you, was it?
He deducted points off.
Deducted points of Xavier and said, I'm going to deduct points
that's
of
allowed.
him.
Like, how can you do that? It's my match.
Wow.
People outside can now determine the result
of your match.
Yeah.
No matter who it is.
That's the first time I've ever heard that.
Yes.
Deducted a point off me. Lucky I was up on points and it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
But I thought that was completely unprofessional.
Very unprofessional.
Very unprofessional.
And the fact that he was a big guy and she's
tiny.
So
he's
he's done it from an intimidation point of view as well, and then
really threatened her, and she just turned around and she just blasted him, and I was like, "That's my kid."
I was like, "That's my daughter."
This is the verbal confidence.
Yep.
That it's not the physical confidence that comes with jiu-jitsu, but that's just her being able to know her boundaries, know this person came into her space, know this person threatened her, and able to speak up for herself.
Recognize
so it was just,
we talk a lot about the good people in this space, and overall and by and large, and touch wood, because in the 11 years that I've been exposed to this space, we've been very fortunate that 99.9% of the people we've met are amazing, phenomenal in this space. So the majority are great.
Agreed.
But in every space, you're going to get a fucktard, right?
Yep.
So how good is it that even in the space where you expect people to be better, you're still coming across a fucktard? Yes, I've said it twice. You're welcome.
Yeah.
And your daughter's gone, no, not today, sunshine. Good.
Yeah.
To be fair, I walked up to him after professionally. I said, listen, I don't want to cause any problems.
Yeah.
But I don't think you were quite appropriate to the child.
Yeah, good.
She's 17, man.
She's still a child.
She's a child.
Yeah.
And he explained why he was doing it. I cut him off. I said, I don't want to hear it. Like, if it was wrong, it was wrong.
Yeah.
It's your rules, it's your rules. But I think the approach was quite intimidating, and you know, you're coming across
Aggressive.
as a bully.
Yeah.
Yep.
He apologized.
Good.
Walked
He did
over
hurt.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Apologize. I'm very stressed. It's a long day.
No.
As you could imagine. I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever.
No.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know.
But good that he owned it, right?
Yeah.
But no, legally, I don't know that he could take your point off you. I don't
No,
I'm
I mean, I don't want to.
To check out the rule book. I mean, I know
curious
there's
on
probably
that.
some things around your team and behavior and like coaching and stuff like that. There probably are some rules. It
I think
depends.
that's what he was mentioning.
Right.
Fair enough. Like I said, if it's their rules, it's their rules.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I didn't even entertain.
I still reckon that's taking liberties.
But I don't feel like it's fair.
I don't
But
think
if
it's
it's
fair.
in their rule book, I should have read it.
Yeah.
And I should have told my team. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, you know.
Well,
but
you still won.
Yeah.
And look, at the end of the day, he owned it and he apologized. You lost by 1 point.
Lucky you won that night.
So okay, so you both you've been doing this a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious, like I know the weight of owning an academy sometimes can take the fun out of it, you know, like out of your own training and stuff. But you're both you've recently come back
Yes.
after a bit of a hiatus yourself, right?
Yes.
You're training again and
Yes.
and you just light up like a Christmas tree when you talk about jiu-jitsu. What keeps the spark alive for you as far as jiu-jitsu and your own training?
Listen, if I talk personally, you know, like, of course, I love to help people. I love seeing people grow, sharing what I've learned in jiu-jitsu, passing it on to the next. But I love to fight. I love being in combat, you know. This is like as pure as you can get to combat without getting punched in the face.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't want to do boxing, break my nose, you know.
Yeah.
It's
because
already
I was
been broken
screaming.
once.
You know?
Mum gets cranky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a form of meditation. It blocks everything out.
Yeah.
And it's just you're in combat and all your problems go away.
Yep.
You know, you start to realize, my problem, you know, yesterday about the admin isn't really that important.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you know, like, that's for just everyday run-of-the-mill peaks and flows in problems, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of the veterans that we talk to that have come into the space, and for Matt, it was absolutely no different in that it stops the noise.
Stops the
Yeah.
So all the trauma that they've experienced through battle and, you know, people are experiencing trauma in everyday life. For that 5 minutes in that role, you can't afford the noise because you're so forward focused on what you're doing. And we've just finished putting this documentary together and we were watching it last night and we've interviewed one of the veterans that's in Iconic's program. And he said it's addictive because it allows him to sleep. Because when he comes into training, it clears the mind. It stops all the noise. It takes all the pressure of all the demons that he's going through. It wears out the body. And so he goes home, his body's not able to have the nightmares.
Yeah.
Because he's so happily exhausted.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's
you speak
huge.
on trauma, you know, but I'll share something since we're talking about that because I quit jiu-jitsu when I was about like 16.
Oh,
17.
wow.
I stopped. Fuck this.
Yep.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, everyone who was pulling me into the gym, I said, this is your thing. It's not my thing.
Yep.
You know, when I was 15, I was out of home already. I was already working full time.
Yep.
I lived with my sister. So I was going through a lot in my teens. You know, I came here at 13 without my mum. So my mum stayed in Philippines and I was sent here for a better life.
Okay.
Better education, better everything. But I think as time progressed, you know, and I dealt with my demons. I've dealt with my, trauma. I came back to jiu-jitsu when I was like 20 at my own will. No one forced me.
Yep.
Everyone thought I just quit already.
Yep.
I said, you know what? I'm going to give it another shot. And then it built me up to a different person from there.
Yep.
You know, all the noise, like what you were mentioning, it reminded me because you were saying, I was like, you know what? It helps me sleep every night.
Yep.
Yeah.
When I don't train, I don't sleep.
Yes. Yep.
I'm on admin.
That's the same.
I'm on the computer.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And
Like
you're
3 in the
shuffling and
morning
you're
and
walking
you
and
can't switch off. And
You can't switch off the noise. You can't stop the voices. You can't. Yeah. And he was
it's
exactly
not like
the same.
when you go to the gym, like with any other sport, you're still thinking, like even just as a mum, what am I going to do next? What do I have to do? What do I got to do for the kids? But in jiu-jitsu, when you go there, you can't think of anything while you're rolling, but surviving.
No, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Your mind is just, it's blank.
It happens.
You don't have to race all day.
Yeah.
You're just thinking of all these things you need to do all day, work,
You
kids.
realize
you know,
problems aren't
yeah.
bad.
Yep. No, that's it.
No,
That's it.
they really are.
And even if they are, it gives you that time, right? It gives you that breathing space
Yeah.
to just reset and reassess.
You know, like one more thing that I mentioned is, you know, when I was going through all those things, you know, in my teens, and then I decided to come back to jiu-jitsu, one of the reasons why I got hooked in jiu-jitsu was it gave me more confidence. My confidence was crushed when I was a teenager.
Yep.
I was, partly bullied at school. I had a few things going on at home. Then at 15, I had to go work for myself.
Yep.
Washing dishes, 40 hours a week. And then I had to do insulation work in houses. It was a hard job.
Yeah.
And then at one point, I was jobless, pretty much going homeless.
Right.
Centrelink was the only thing kept me going.
Yeah.
That's a lot for a young and a young boy too to be
Yeah,
going
and
through.
15.
Where's your mentorship? Where's your how to become a man?
Without much
leadership?
family support
Also
too.
passed when I was very young.
Okay, yeah.
So
There's a
18
lot
months
of trauma being built up in here that you haven't sort of been able or had the opportunities to go through and process,
I
right?
don't mind, speaking on it because we're in the topic of jiu-jitsu and how it helps people.
Yeah,
Well, that's how it helped me.
that's it.
I went through a lot during my teens, but then at 20, I had a shift.
Yep.
And I decided jiu-jitsu is going to be part of me now because it's building me up to a better person.
Yep.
And I don't know, like when I would achieve something, it felt good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, like got a stripe.
That's always a stripe.
The benchmark. Sorry, Grant.
We talked about, we used to have books and stuff up here. I actually got it up there now. It's Make Your Bed. And we talk about that book quite a lot on the podcast and how it says, like, when you wake up in the morning, make your bed.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing that you've achieved for the day already. Yeah. And I feel like your growth through jiu-jitsu is like that too. It's like when you, and I joked about it this morning, one of our young guys did something and it worked really well. And I went, yes, you've just unlocked a level, a level of understanding. And it's kind of opening up that game that you play. It's sort of reminded me of what you were just saying. Like when you achieve something and you win or you work it out and get a new understanding, it's the excitement that you get from that is
I spoke about this the other way because we have this running joke about belts and stripes and a lot of what you see on Reddit and social media and everything is don't chase the belts, don't chase the stripes, be there for yourself, don't compare yourself against others and all the rest of it. And I'm so anti all of that. I understand it and I get it, but for me, in my spurgy way of processing the world, that's validation. If I can't see my own journey, if I can't see my own improvements, then I'm taking heart that somebody smarter and better in this space, be it Rach and Grant, can see it for me.
Yep.
And I know that when they acknowledge the stripe or they acknowledge the belt, it's like, oh, okay, I'll believe in your belief in me because I can't believe in me at the moment. And that's kind of where I go with that. So whilst I'm not chasing it and I'm not turning up with the expectation of a stripe, I will celebrate it when it comes because it means that somebody else has seen the effort that I'm trying to put in to gain this. Yeah. And so I think my perspective's a little bit different against why everybody says don't do it, but it's the validation of being seen.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, it's the reward for your hard work.
My coach at the time, when he gave me my blue belt, he made a speech because we had a competition a week before.
Yeah.
And I lost terribly. I lost. I had my legs up on the fence. My face was purple because I wasn't breathing. I was so nervous. I hop off the mats. I'm like, I need to call an ambulance.
Yeah. I'm not going to make it.
My friend goes, you'll be fine. Yeah, calm down. Anyway, I was calm. Face wasn't purple anymore. Instructor comes. You're going absolute, Xavier. Let's go. Man. I don't want to do it. He dragged me because you're doing it. Fucking doing it.
Yep.
You fucking do it today.
Yep.
This is you, Xavier. And I'm like, yes, coach.
Okay.
Anyway, took me up and you had to line up back then. No smooth comp existed. You had to line up, put your name down. Did it. Lost within 2 minutes. But I felt achieved. I was like, you know what? I wasn't so bad.
Yep.
A week later, he gave me my blue belt. And his speech was, you know what? Just because this guy lost last weekend doesn't mean he didn't put the effort in.
Yes.
Doesn't mean that he didn't train really hard and did his best.
Yeah.
You know, I know Xavier before jiu-jitsu and now where he is now.
Yep.
And that's why I'm giving him his blue belt.
Nice.
And I remember it till today.
Yep.
You know,
And you got seen, right? And it was a huge stepping stone for you.
Yep.
And when you think back to all that trauma, no dad to lean on, no mentorship as you're going forward, having to leave the education, get in and work, the fear of homelessness would bring its own. So all of that's boiled up. And then for that moment, somebody has seen you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's huge.
That's building someone up.
That's it.
That's what I like to share now.
Yep.
You know, at our school, we say we're a family gym.
Yep.
And at the same time, we focus on building people.
Yep.
Not just learning how to fight. That's one small part of it.
It really is actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Part of
Yeah.
it. You can learn that anyway.
I think it's what gets people in the door and hooked.
Yeah.
But then it explodes into so much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps you to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The community.
You? What's the spark that keeps you going at the moment?
Like I said, I think it was different for me at different times of my life. So I feel like my why has,
Talk us
changed.
Through.
But I
How has
think
the why's changed?
well, when I first got into it, I got into it because of the kids and I couldn't go anywhere else and I wanted to lose my baby weight. I think when I really built a spark for jiu-jitsu was when I had the goal. I'm very goal orientated. So I really just I need a goal.
Yep.
If it's not going anywhere, I'm like, I just need to have something.
Yeah, you
to
can't be
focus
the
on.
mouse just on the treadmill.
Yes.
Yep.
I decided to join a comp and that was what really sparked jiu-jitsu for me. So I was committed. I was training 6 times a week. And I felt like that was my why. I just needed that end goal. I needed to do something and say, okay, well, I've done all this training and it's gone somewhere.
Yep.
I think now, so that was around 2018, but I think now my why has really changed. I'm not so worried about competition anymore. For me, it's just about helping others and really like advocating and building the self-confidence of the children that come through, my own kids, and just myself.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I was obviously in a previous relationship. I lost myself a lot in that. And I had to kind of come out and rebuild myself after 17 years. And I had to discover, the things that were important to me.
Yep.
So I think that's my why now. It's really just creating a better space, a family-run gym where we're not focusing on just, competitors. We're not focusing on the win, but we're focusing on more building the individual. Mind, body, and
There's
spirit.
different ways to win, though.
Yeah.
Not just the
really
medal.
is.
That's it.
Oh,
That's it.
yeah.
Yep.
Just the medal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's a really important statement, right?
Yes.
Because, we've talked about this on many an episode, the difference between the competitors and the hobbyists and, the old people like me who just don't have the flexibility to be doing all the fancy stuff. And there's so many different reasons, types and whys to be on the mat, right?
Yeah.
For me, the win is the biggest win in my entire jiu-jitsu history thus far was coming back after my surgeries.
Yeah.
And, Rach sent me a message not long ago going, babe, so many other people would have just quit. Like that was a hell of a journey to go through. And I'd never thought about it like that. I'd never thought that everybody else or a lot of other people would have just quit. All I knew was I couldn't.
Yeah.
But to get that kind of acknowledgement, that was a huge win for me. That was like, oh no, this is a big thing to come back from.
How
and I
long were
am
you
back
out
here.
from your surgery?
I was supposed to be out 12 months.
Yeah, yeah.
I lasted about 3.
Me and you are so much alike. I had knee surgery and I was supposed to be out for 12 months and I lasted around 7 years off the mats.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was big.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, no, I was out 3 months and I was like a caged cat in the house. And so then I started coming back, just sitting on the corner and watching the lesson and doing whatever. And then within 6 months I was rolling again, and then I kind of stuffed it a bit. I went too quick, too fast, so had to pull back a bit.
Couple of steps forward, couple of steps
back.
back.
Yeah, it's been a journey and I'm still on it, but, we'll get there. I would want to touch on something because, you talk a lot about your kids and you light up when you talk about the kids, and you both light up about building people up and helping. Yeah. Your kids program is very important to you, isn't it?
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that.
Yes.
Like I said before, there's different ways to win, and that's how you can build people up. And jiu-jitsu, in my opinion, can give you those opportunities.
Yep.
Like let's give a scenario, like maybe a child coming in, they were bullied maybe.
Yep.
So let's see how we can help this person, right? Of course, I'll ask the parent like what they're going through, this and that. We'll come up with something for them. But the way we've set up our program is always to try to build people up. If this person got bullied, their confidence is going to be low. They're not going to know how to speak up. That's one. And their self-worth is not there.
Yep.
Most of the time anyway, I think. Depends on their environment also. But within the program, I'll do things like just making them do the warm-up in front of the whole class.
Yep.
And the way you communicate with the child is also very important. Like if I tower over a kid and say, you're doing the warm-up today, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
I'm crushing them.
Yeah.
I need to build them up. So I'll kneel down and I'll look at them and, leveled, and I'll encourage them to come. Let's do it together.
Yeah.
Stand next to me. Be part of the coach today. Things like that,
Yeah. You're giving them little snippets of what it's like to become a leader and what it's like to step out in front. And
giving them opportunity. I don't force them. Give them the opportunity. Sometimes I'll even go, actually, I do it a lot. I'll show the technique to the kids.
Yes.
This is how you do an armbar, rear naked choke. Anyone want to volunteer?
Yeah.
You'll see all the hands go up. Oh, I want to do it. Coach.
Pick me.
Pick me. I want to feel
So they
valued.
do it on you?
They'll do it either on me or they'll do it to another child.
Yep.
Just depends, depends
I
on
love
their
that
age.
idea.
As well.
I'm going to do that from stuff.
We actually have
stealing
mentorship programs where we, kids come in and we give them, especially ones that, you would never think could get up in front of a class and teach, or they come in and their self-confidence is low. And we put them through a mentorship program where we start getting them to assist. We give them, we say, are you looking for a job?
Yep.
And these kids are 12.
Yep.
So we'll give you some cash, extra pocket money, and, you can help out in the classes. And they start at first by just walking around and not really doing much. But then over time, you'll see years, they're with us for 3-4 years.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden they're now coaching, they're teaching kids how to do things, they're teaching the technique, and they're speaking up and they're leading. I think we've got about 4 or 5 teenagers that we've mentored and that have come up with us and that now are doing that.
Yeah. Use this cup, right? That's their self-worth cup.
Yep.
Confidence, everything. And I'm going to give them opportunities to fill that cup.
Yep.
Yeah.
By the time they're older, that cup's going to be full.
That's amazing. And I'm going to be real cold and callous here. That's an amazing business model as well.
Yeah.
Longevity of your members from the ground up, right? Yeah. Because, I'll go to work and I'll go, oh, yeah, I do jiu-jitsu and that's as far as the conversation will go or whatever. But talking with kids, they want their friends to come and join in. They want to see their friends after school. And, the amount of times my kids come home from school and they're on their phone, I'm like, who are you talking to? Oh, such and such. Didn't you just spend 6 hours with such and such at school? Yeah, but we didn't finish talking. Okay, right, good. So, they're going to start bringing their friends. And if you're building that ethos where we see teenagers drop off, and teenage girls we see drop off too from this space, right? It gets too hard. They discover boys, they discover whatever. But if you're building that mentorship and that leadership through your gym, it's a greater possibility of longevity too.
Yeah, it's been a great approach.
Huge.
When we introduced that, we didn't think it would blow up like this. But we've had so many teens now. I think we've got 4 to 5 teens that are working, and they love it. They would rather it than, some of them used to work at McDonald's, and then we were like, just come work here. It's better. They're like, okay.
They love it.
They really love it. Yeah.
I connected back to my experience in jiu-jitsu. What helped me, that's what helped me. So maybe I'll give them the same opportunities and make it even better.
Yeah.
That's how the
program. Pasha started that way at 12. She was Xavier's right hand.
Yep.
And he would say to her, just come with me. I'll do the technique on you.
Yep.
And now she's teaching a women's class.
Pass it on to her now.
Yeah.
She does the under 7s.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's awesome. Very cool. Okay, so but I know you guys are very big advocates in the space of the anti-bullying, and I've seen a podcast that you guys were interviewed on that long ago where you were talking a lot about that program. So let's go back a step and just talk a little bit more about the anti-bullying. Why has that become such a focus point for you guys?
It became a big focus point for me because Aurelia was bullied.
Okay.
Really badly. In year 6, so last year. I had a very different perspective on bullying.
Yeah.
I kind of grew up where it was like, you just have to be resilient. You just have to be resilient. But I guess when Aurelia went through the bullying, I started to recognize that teaching kids to be resilient and teaching kids to accept abuse is complete different things. And that's where parents go wrong.
Yep.
So it's kind of like saying to a woman in a domestic violence relationship, well, you just have to be resilient. But you're getting abused, you're getting, whether it's physical, verbal. And that's when I realized I feel like I could have done more in the time of advocating for Aurelia, but I think the process really just taught me how to advocate for her. Yep. Because I was at a point where this was new to me. Akasha had not experienced any bullying, but Aurelia experienced severe bullying. And I think that's what really just made me so passionate about advocating for kids that have been bullying and also teaching their parents how to advocate for them.
Yeah.
Because this, as much as we want to believe in our school systems, they're so limited. I went to the school and you ring them up and they say, we'll handle it, but it's not handled. Nope. I've had principals say to me, it's just banter. It's just kids being kids.
It's also a different time now compared to...
And it's a different time.
Yeah.
Cyberbullying is different.
Yeah, absolutely.
They go home with it.
Yeah.
It just never stops.
It's 24 hours a day.
Go home with it.
Yeah. Whereas us Gen Xers, we got to walk away from the schoolyard at 3 o'clock and you weren't back there again until you at least had that time to breathe.
Yeah.
Right? And I say this all the time because we have Google Family here on the ranch. All my kids' devices are on Google Family.
Yep.
And at 8 o'clock at night, I flick a switch and all their devices are turned off. So
you can do that?
Absolutely. And their devices don't turn back on again until 8 o'clock the next morning. Yeah. So they've got no social interaction.
I do that to myself.
Yeah. We need that.
Emails off.
Yeah.
Staff, don't call me.
I couldn't imagine doing that to my husband. I think it'd be anarchy. Sorry, producer Matt. So what do you do in realms of the kids program? And do you talk about bullying and that when you're taking the kids through their jiu-jitsu journey with you?
Yeah, all the time. We speak about, especially with the parents, but we do a lot of education around bullying. And if, a lot of parents come in and say, well, my child's been bullying. We've sent emails to the school says they're handling it, but they won't send any more emails back. So we just teach them how to advocate for their kids.
Yeah.
It's all about speaking up.
That's all it is.
You need to speak up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, coming back to what I was explaining before, how the model was, or is within our academy for the kids program, is also to teach them to speak up.
Yes.
They can't speak up. Their self-worth is here.
Yeah.
Confidence is down.
Yep.
So you work on that first. You work inner first before you get results.
Yep.
You can't just tell a kid, hey, you got to speak up.
Yeah.
Why isn't the kid speaking up in the first place?
That's right. Yeah, if it's that obvious. Yeah.
And they have to recognize the signs with parents. Yeah. I feel like they have to know if the environment is toxic enough for them to move them out of that environment.
Yes.
A lot of parents would just leave their kids in schools where the environment is just too toxic.
Yeah.
And they'll just say, well, they'll build resilience.
Yeah.
And that's how
they can't.
Things just completely go wrong.
Yeah. Sometimes kids just need a new possibility.
Yeah.
to step into a space where no one has expectations or knowledge of them, where they can just create their new, you know, persona.
Yeah.
Just that clean slate. You know, it
That
goes a really
clean
long way. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the name of your gym?
Alpha Jiu Jitsu Academy.
Excellent. Okay. And in Box Hill.
Rouse Hill.
Rouse Hill.
We have one in Rouse Hill,
Richmond.
and Richmond, New South Wales.
Oh, nice. I love Richmond.
Yeah.
Richmond's like that little town, time forgot, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You got a curve.
And when you drive through it, it's like all
amazing.
vintage buildings and
Yep.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were driving through there the other day. Okay, and so because I know I follow you guys, I'm that stalker that checks out everything. And I said to someone the other day, I'm not stalking you, I'm autistic, therefore I'm just really zoning in. I'm fixating, not stalking.
I'm fixated.
I'm fixating, not stalking. That's my new excuse now.
Yeah,
I'm fixating, not stalking. And because you've got quite a large kids program. So what have the hurdles been? What have some of the challenges been in your own gym building up this kids program?
Like any business, there's going to be challenges.
Yeah.
But it just depends on what kind of challenge you're speaking of. I mean,
Like, do you ever get to that point where you just, I mean, I have 5 daughters, right? There's not a shit chance in hell I could run a kids program because I'd get banned within the first 5 minutes. What are you fuckwits doing? Right? So I think there's no buffer.
Yeah.
So what, you know, in that regard, like kids are challenging. Kids can
you know
be
what?
as
It's
well.
finding the right people to lead the programs that we have.
Yep.
Yeah.
Finding the right people to be part of our team
Yep.
that will have the same mission or the same values
Yep.
as our
Yeah.
academy.
Yeah.
You know, everyone has their own tribe.
Yep.
Now, how do we find these same people? That, I guess, was the biggest challenge.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
there's different challenges with the kids program.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's, you know, the parents that don't know jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But I think that's been a big challenge for us.
Always
If
the
it's-
biggest
if-
challenge.
If the parents don't know jiu-jitsu and they say things like, our kid is not progressing.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
No matter how much you explain it, they just don't get it.
Yeah.
and that's I don't know if the kids are so much of a challenge or it's
Yes, the
getting the
parents.
parents to
Yeah,
understand
parents
that
are more
don't do
challenging.
jiu-jitsu.
I will always say, and I'm not saying like this is across the board, but it is always the case.
Yeah.
My hardest conversations or my hardest challenges is the parents of the children
Yes.
who don't train themselves
Yes.
because they just don't have an understanding.
Yeah.
And then they'll come to you and they'll just, you know, or you'll hear them say things to the kids that just oh my goodness, you're not helping.
Yeah.
Like when
Like the
someone's
kid
got
will-
them in mount and they're just like, just get up.
Well,
just get up.
Do that bridge thing. The bridge.
You should go on the mats and let's put a heavier person on top of you.
I've gone as far as offering 2 months of free training. It's like, I'm not even going to hit you up after. There's no follow-up sales, nothing. Just 2 months here.
Yeah.
Get on the mat and do it.
Just learn how easy it is to just stand back up.
I know someone who literally called the parent and go, why don't you get under me right now? I'll put my knee on your chest and I'll see you get out.
Yeah, and then just get up. Just get up.
And the guy didn't. He certainly didn't. And the guy was so embarrassed because he's a big dude.
I think he started jiu-jitsu after
Yeah,
that.
he did. Apparently.
Maybe that's what we've got to
See,
do.
that's
Yeah.
it. I
You
just
say
start,
us tap
yeah, that's it. I
Yeah.
just start handing the parents
Yeah.
skis.
Yeah.
Go put it on now.
I think
Here's my
that's
belt.
That's
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just find, you know what would be hilarious? Like a parent like that, put them in a gi and then give them to Willow. That's our 15-year-old daughter who's built like a brick shit house and we just can push them.
We had a student like that.
Yeah.
She would bow and arrow every single man in the club. And she is a 16-year-old blue belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
You guy comes in, I'm like, yeah, you're going to go with her.
Oh, I can't beat up on a little girl. Yeah. You try.
Taps
Go
that
for it.
once and they're like, do it again.
Easy.
Choked that again twice. Signing up.
Because it proves jiu-jitsu, doesn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
Really
That's exactly, and that's super huge, right?
Yeah.
Like it proves the power of jiu-jitsu because she wasn't sweating, she wasn't panicking, she
Yep.
wasn't freaking out.
Yep.
Yeah.
She literally just took that person and showed them the power of jiu-jitsu. It's just amazing.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal. So the passion to start your own business, where did you decide to go, yeah, we're all in, let's do it?
For me, it wasn't because I loved jiu-jitsu at the time. That's completely honest. It was that we were traveling to Manly 3 to 4 times a week.
Yep.
And I had a car share and I was just kind of sick of the travel. So I think I had quite a bit of savings, gave it to my ex, said, let's just open up our own gym. Yep. And that's how it all started. Yeah. And it was a place for them to train. But then over time, everything else just fell into place. The love of jiu-jitsu, what it does, the benefits, everything just fell into place.
It becomes a real holistic approach, right?
It really does. But initially, we just wanted to we were traveling so much. We had a child and we just thought, okay, let's just open up our own. We didn't kind of want to go through the runt of working 9 to 5 and then, being away and our kids. So we just decided to do that and it worked out.
Beautiful.
It worked out great.
Just put it out there. Like it's kind of like you just manifested it into being, right?
And it wasn't, we were just driving around one day and we saw an open space and it was just like, let's just go look at this. And before you know it was a jiu-jitsu gym. It just came into place.
It's not too dissimilar from you and Grant.
No, I was just thinking that it's so aligned because we used to travel in our 20s to get to our coach, and there were 2 big academies or main academies, and they still exist on the Central Coast that were Brazilian run and very Brazilian. Yeah. And we knew that there was an opportunity because we had friends that had trained and didn't like that approach. They wanted a more, I guess, Australian jiu-jitsu experience, and Grant's a school teacher and it just kind of was like, well, all right, well, let's just open up something close to home. So we like one night a week, we only have to travel 8 minutes to the gym, not an hour 20. And it started off as once a week and then it went to twice a week. And then before you know it, we've got a full-time gym and
it's all about convenience.
Yeah, it really
and that's what it was. And it just all kind of worked out. It was like in a little space, I remember. We started in a little space at another gym. And then and they got annoyed of us. We got annoyed of them too because they would walk on the mats with all their shoes and then we would have to clean it. Jiu-jitsu was, a bit of a different kind of sport with, shoes.
They got pissed because their Muay Thai guys were transferring to Jiu-Jitsu. And the owner was like, hey, you guys pay us $70 per hour.
Go find your own
taking 5 of my clients.
And we were just lucky, like down the road, there was this vacant place and we just thought, didn't really have the money, but stuff it, would just do it. And it all worked out.
Took out all the savings.
I was working since I was 13. And I think I had about $30,000 to $40,000 in savings and I just gave it and said, let's just do it. Let's do it.
And haven't looked back.
Took a gamble and never looked back.
And what about the adults program? Like we laugh a lot because I am not people centric. Like I think we discover that more and more as we go on. How do you both go with adulting and humans? And like I know Rach was funny the first couple of months that I met Rach. And humans have clusters, right? You'll find there's clicky groups and there's difference and that and all the rest of it. And I said something about Rach and Rach is just like, Kaz, I don't get involved. I stay over here. Yeah. And this is what I do. And I stay neutral and I don't get involved. How do you guys find that? Is that like a line in the sand that you bring down as well?
I mean, within our club, we try to keep everyone in a community.
Yep.
And I think that's very important because it keeps everyone connected.
Yep. We do have a rule. We don't talk about politics or religion on the mats.
Yep.
COVID was a nightmare.
COVID was a big thing.
Oh, yes.
I walked into the mat. As soon as it opened, I said, I don't want anyone talking about the jab. I don't want anyone talking about politics.
Yep. We don't care if you got it or you did it. Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
You've accepted it.
Yeah, that's it.
If you're here rolling with me,
you've
accepted. You're going to get COVID.
Yep. Yeah. The end.
The end. That's it. That's all talking about.
I still haven't had it, COVID. As far as I know.
You never know if you never test.
That's the world she lives in.
Burying my head.
That's it.
No, it's not quite true. There have been a few times that I've gotten really sick.
Yes. Yeah.
And I've gone,
probably should
test myself. And when I've tested, it's been like the influenza A or B.
Yeah.
Like that's how sick. But when I'm like just a little bit sick, I'm like,
fuck it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Try not to touch people too much when that happens. But
just,
I think they're really just our main kind of.
I really like that. And
topics not to discuss.
Where he doesn't go, he'll cross line. he will go right up to the line. His version of where the line is a little bit further ahead of where I think the line should be, but that's
I think that's a bit more me, and you're a bit more. Yeah.
Who's the conservative one, you or Xavier?
No, I'd say Xavier.
Yeah.
I get to a point where I'm just upfront. Like, I'm very patient, but when it gets to a point where I really have to say something, I think I'd play more of the role where I just say it.
Good cop.
Yeah.
Bad cop.
I've got 4 kids.
Here we go.
We've had that agreement.
That's right?
Someone's got to do it.
You've got to have it. I reckon, like.
Well, we've got Carlo now, so.
Carlo's great. He's actually manager.
Okay. So he's the business as well?
Yeah.
So it's almost 2 against 1 now.
We often talk, and we have students talk about the importance of a mummy and daddy figure in the academy. And it doesn't have to be male and female.
Yeah.
You've just got that person who's more like put to the point in business, and I can have this conversation with you.
Yeah.
And then you've got the person who's like, let me give you a hug. It's going to work out. It will be okay.
I think as an instructor, you don't like to have those conversations with your students.
I believe
You just
that.
like
I
to
think,
teach.
I think
and,
if there's someone
you know,
else that can do it,
Yeah.
then it should be a separate role.
Yeah.
That's my idea of it.
Yeah.
If we're talking professionally and you're actually going to draw a line,
Yeah.
I think it's good to have a conversation within your team.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to do the bad cop?
Yeah.
It's you, then it's you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be the main instructor unless he has to. If he's the only one managing the whole thing.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah.
But if someone else can take that, then
Because you've had to do it a
Like-
few
I like
times,
what
but
you mentioned.
Yeah. And there's been times that, and we're very much like that too. Although Grant's probably more the dad figure, I'm the one who will have the tough conversation.
Yeah.
But I can do it with a certain amount of gentleness and kindness and softness if I have to. There's been other times where I've just gone, this is not happening.
Yeah.
This is not how we do things here. And if that's going to be your behavior or the way that you carry on or, you know, then maybe this isn't the best place for you. And honestly, we decided it's very hard when you own a business, but sometimes you've got to trim the branches.
Yes.
So the tree flourishes.
Yes.
Right. And you get rid of those 1 or 2 toxic people and suddenly the whole room's lighter.
Yeah.
And that takes courage because at the end of the day, business requires a minimum return, right, for it to be viable.
Yeah.
And we all know startups are hard and you don't necessarily, you know, you've got a lot of outlay in your startup world. So there's that longevity of needing to pay back as well.
Yeah.
Memberships is what pays.
Yeah.
And so memberships become the all important to have the courage to go, no, I'm putting the overall business and the overall membership base before I'm putting the dollars on the table. You're a bad member, you need to go. You know, that takes courage.
Just one toxic person can just bring down a whole room of people.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like, not even exaggerating.
Yeah.
Everyone down.
Yeah, absolutely.
One
and
bad seed.
And
Just
sometimes you
It's
don't
not
even
worth the
know
money
which one
either.
that is.
Yeah.
And that's the, you know, we've been in a situation before where it's just like, what is going on? Like, where is this coming from? And you're hearing this person and that person and that, but it's not until, and it's usually the snake in the grass.
Yeah.
Like it's that person that's most unassuming. You work it out. You just go, and then when they're gone, everyone just goes, oh.
And then,
And then
20
that
people.
negativity of that
20
like
people will tell you
devil.
what it is.
I've experienced
That's it.
that.
Yeah,
They're
when
like,
they've gone,
When they've gone,
everybody comes forward
by the
going,
way-
yeah, you're an ass.
Why didn't you tell me before?
Don't just literally tell you on the spot. It's like when you hire an instructor and you leave and it was like, thank God he's gone.
Yeah.
Like, just want to say something.
That's it. Yeah. Oh, because it's your business and we didn't want to rock the boat. Not that. Well,
You know, just rock the boat.
rock
We're
the boat,
fine.
come
We're
and talk.
open to
Yeah,
feedback.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Well and truly.
No one speaks until, you know, they really need to. But you even have those people that come up and say, well, everyone else feels like this. And I always say, well,
Let
you
them
know,
speak.
let them speak for themselves.
That's it. Yeah.
You tell me how you feel.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, don't
Yeah.
comment about everyone else's experience.
Yeah.
And then you realise that no one else probably feels like that. Just this person
And,
feels
what
like
they're-
that.
and this is what I've come to the realization. They've probably been in the change room going, oh, blah, 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 blah. And this person's like, Yeah, I get it. I understand
Yeah.
how you feel. And then they've gone, oh, I'm validated. This person knows what
That's
everyone feels like this. No,
Just because I say yeah doesn't mean
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
just like rolling their eyes. They're just
Passionate.
I haven't actually heard the last 30 minutes of you talking. I was just trying to be polite.
I just want to get dressed and get out of here.
Can you please fuck off?
I want to revisit your kids program a little bit. We see each other at competitions a lot. Like that's where, I've known Marie for how long?
A very long time. I'd say.
Was it Australian Girls in Gi Camp that we got to really know each other? Or was it before that? I don't even know. I can't pick
That's how long I'd been a blue belt.
When did that camp happen?
Everyone in that camp's a black belt
I was
now.
a purple belt.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. That was probably 8 years ago now, but we knew each other just before then.
I know we're definitely coming back to you. I just want to ask for 1 second though. How is your headspace with that comment? So you're like, I was a blue belt back then.
Yeah.
Everybody there now is a black belt.
Yeah.
How are you with that?
Listen, it's been a struggle for me because I've seen people progress.
Yes.
But I have to say that I've seen women that get their black belts at 70. So I've come to a mindset where I'm like, you know what? Especially after my ACL.
Yeah.
I was just getting back onto the mats. I was there for 3 months and I was super excited. I was like, yeah, I'm going to work towards my purple belt. And then I
Did your ACL?
I did my ACL in. But then I think when I was probably younger, I wouldn't have taken it as great, but I'm in that space now where I think if I dwell on it and I kind of beat myself up, it's really not going to do me any good.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm just going to get into a bad mindset. I'm going to be like,
negative and probably not want to then go and
not
train.
Want to go back because that's what I did when I first did my knee 7 years ago. I was so negative that I didn't get back onto the mats for 7 years.
Yep.
And I think I said to Xavier this time after I did my ACL, I said, you know what, I'm still just going to jump on and help with the kids' classes.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to stay
Great,
on
you
the
were
mats.
telling me you were going to train that week. So, no.
I can't walk.
Scan
But I'll
first.
train.
I do
What
look
happened
back.
to me? Get your scans done.
I do look back and I think a lot of it was a mindset. If I really wanted to train, I could have.
Yep.
And I could have been a black belt by now, but I feel like my mind has kind of it was really a mindset thing.
And it needed to catch up.
And it needed to get, now I understand that because I've done a lot of, I guess, inner work in the last 3 years. So now I understand that it was all a mindset thing, and it's nice to see everyone else as a black belt, but I think now I'm just kind of like, I've just got to focus on my own journey. My journey is different to everyone else's.
Yeah.
As long as the end goal is the black belt, my degree took me 10 years to finish and I just pushed through it. And I'm like, this is just like this. I'm just going to take, the wins when I get them. If I get an injury, I'll take a year off, I'll come back and I'll just do it all over again.
I love that. I
can't. There's nothing else. And I'm lucky because I run a gym, so jiu-jitsu is part of my life.
Yeah.
So it's not like something that's going to always be there for me.
Yeah.
So it's a good
One thing I always say, comparison is the thief of all joy.
Yeah.
Right. Or the source of all misery. I sort of say it that way.
Yeah.
Because it really is. And you can sit here and just go, oh, look at them. They've done this, they've done that.
And everyone's
But
life
that's
is different.
your journey,
Yeah.
And your journey is your own.
Yeah.
And, there's been people in our gym, like Grant's brother Jay, he took years off at purple. He got his purple, took years off, and then came back years later, and now he's a black belt.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't know it like that.
Yeah.
It's just part of the journey.
Yeah.
And just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think that's amazing. I do.
Yeah.
And we were chatting yesterday going, we're both going to get to black belt at 70.
I worked out the other day.
I was just bummed that Akasha's going to progress before me because when she got a blue belt, I was like, oh, it's on now. I'm going to compete to get to this purple belt.
But she's also got a journey ahead
Yes,
of her.
yes. Yeah.
You've had, this is it. You've had your children. There's
Yeah.
no other stops unless you get an injury or something like that.
Yeah, there's no other
She's
stops
coming
now.
up to that.
Yeah.
Not too soon.
Not too soon, no. Not too
If you're
soon.
listening, not too soon.
I'm probably just trying to make you feel better. She'll probably get her black belt, really.
And she's really good. She's great, isn't she?
It was actually while I was talking, I was like, no, I've rolled with this girl. She's a handful.
Yes.
She's an absolute handful.
Yes.
She'll be there.
She really is a handful, isn't
I was
she?
going to say she'll be black belt before she makes you a grandma, so it's okay. So sorry, Rach. I just wanted to know that because I know, and we'll talk about mental health and neurodivergency and that in a minute too. But I just wondered how you were. So sorry, back to your kids program.
Okay. I was going to ask you about the kids program. The fact that we see each other at comps a lot. Do you have a lot of kids that compete, or is that not really a focus?
I wouldn't say we have a lot, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we'll get quite a few kids come in, but like join the tournament. But compared to the overall number of kids we have, it's not many.
Okay.
No.
Does your gym, like in regards, and again, it's coming more and more apparent that in the jiu-jitsu world, there's almost like this divide at the moment, and I know you can all correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there's this massive divide between traditional jiu-jitsu and its intent, sport jiu-jitsu, hobbyist competitors. Like it's almost like there is becoming these silos.
Yep.
Do you, in your gym, do you have an equal focus for the traditional, the hobbyist and competitors?
I'd say so.
I think we cater for all. We don't have, but we're not we're not a competition gym.
I don't force people to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's super
I wouldn't
important.
go and force someone to compete.
Yes.
Yep.
Because I know how that felt like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're like a gym for the everyday guy.
Yeah.
And if you want to compete, we'll focus on that.
Yeah.
We'll
You're there
give you
for
our
it.
What are you
time.
here for?
Yeah.
But
Ask them.
yes.
Just ask. What are you here for?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mental health. Oh,
Let's look at
roll.
But it's not like a big, those gyms where they're just purely just focused on competition.
Oh, yeah.
It's not, we're not that
You're
kind
not
of
that.
gym.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting, and we can talk a little bit about it, but and I want to come back to I've got more in my headspace that I want to discuss with you on that level, because it's just sort of something's come to light recently, and I want to pick your brain on it.
Yeah.
But I forget where I was going. Anyway, we'll come back to that. I'm telling you, the brain fog is real.
That's on our hormone episode.
Yeah.
Menopause. It's a journey.
Anyway.
So what did you want to do?
Yeah, okay. So let's talk about the kids for a second, because Grant and I have had this conversation. It's like, what are we trying to achieve? What is our goal with the kids program? Are we trying to make better humans? Yes, tick. Are we trying to make more resilient kids? Yes, tick. Are we trying to teach them about self-defense? Yes, tick. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. We want the kids to try competition because we think it's a good experience, and it teaches them a lot about themselves, and it teaches us as coaches, like if there's any gaps that every time a student goes into a comp, Grant and I are like, yes, we're coaching them, and yes, we're doing that, but we're also in the back of our head going, where's the gaps? Where do we need to fill for our students and to make our students the best that they can be? But I find that these days, it's just becoming more and more evident. And I think with exactly what you were talking about, Kaz, is there's some schools out there that focus so heavily on the competition. You've got grey belts that are tearing kids, 6-year-old kids, a new one. And they're like grey belts too.
Yeah.
But it's like, what the disparity in knowledge in kids is crazy. Yeah. And there's probably a little bit of sandbagging going on.
Well, a little bit.
Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
But I find this is so depressing as a coach of kids because you want your kids to go in and have a fun experience where it's back and forth. And I don't care if they win or lose. Yeah. But as long as they get to have a bit of back and forth at their level, at their age, at their weight. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas the last competition I sent kids into, I swear there was this one kid come up from Melbourne, sponsored names all over his thing, grey belt, within 10 seconds of each match with one of my kids, had them tied up, rear naked choke, tapped out, and it was hard. And it was fast.
Do you know what happens in that space then? And we complain a lot as a family because it's a really hard space for our girls to get a fight, a role, a competitor in, right? So there's not a big, huge pool of kids that are coming in. But when you've got that kid that is living and breathing it 7 days a week, is sponsored as a 10-year-old, is whatever, none of the kids that
are coming to see if they like competition, or if they come up against that kid, they're unlikely to ever want to go and compete again.
100%.
Because you're going
They're
to
not
get
getting
killed
a fair
in
chance.
10 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
it.
Like,
And there's little tournaments too, and I always wonder why they put these kids in the smaller tournaments. Because I'm thinking these smaller tournaments, like Australian Girls in Gear, for instance, it's a bit of an in-house comp.
Yeah.
And then you bring these kids there and it's like people are just doing their first comp. My kids did their first comp at Australian Girls in Gear.
Yeah.
And it's...
Willow had one of her best experiences at Girls in Gi.
Yeah.
And again, she felt like she was on an equal playing field, and there was, you know, the same sort of level of expertise in that. And I'm concerned because I agree wholeheartedly with the people who say kids that are national, state, to world champions, all the rest of it right now, burn out before they're 16.
100%.
And so all of a sudden now...
They get a license and they're in a different club.
That's it. That's it. That's right. That's it. And they introduce themselves to alcohol and they're no longer there and all the rest of it.
I've seen it, like, for the last 20 years, I've seen
many times,
all these kids that were stars and just, you know, they were just living and breathing it and there was no balance and it was just constant, like they were living like adult athletes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're just children.
That's it.
You know, they're just...
Sometimes it's like you can...
I feel like it's the parents living through the children a lot of the time.
Through them. Yeah.
You know, they didn't get to achieve this high life of being an athlete. And
you offer them 2 months free and they want to take it.
You know?
These tiny little kids have got like sponsor pages and athlete pages and, you know, they're traveling the world. And look, credit where credit's due. Like the parents are obviously really invested in and so on and so forth. I understand that that's, you know, they've maybe got endless money to burn. And really that's what it comes down to is just like throwing money after money after money, getting privates for their kids. That's, I get that athlete and whatever. That's not my problem. My problem is my kids coming up against that. And what, do you keep pushing it? Like as coaches in your gym where you do have you're a competitor, right? Yeah. You put your name out there, you go, you're with
I tell all the people
that
compete, I tell them you're going to lose a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I make it very clear to them.
Yeah.
You want to take this journey, you want to compete. I think you're great. I think you've got a lot of potential, but you're going to have to work really, really hard.
Yeah.
And you're going to lose a lot.
Yep.
Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
And unless they're training like those other kids.
Yeah.
They probably really don't have a
set
chance.
your expectations right.
Yeah.
Because if you're training twice a week,
and you're going up against someone who's training 6 times a week.
How do you combat that for your kids? Do you have in-house comps, or do
in-house?
You just,
I was going to mention it.
Okay, or do you just keep them away from it, or encourage them into it? What do you do?
I let them make the choice. It's up to them.
Yeah. I think they just need to know the expectation.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be clear communication, and they need to know, listen, you train twice a week and this kid trains 7 days a week.
Yep.
They have mats at home. They're flying to, Melbourne, training with the best people.
Yeah.
And you just have to kind of set that expectation for them.
And here's where it gets really tricky, right?
But
because as a mum and dad with that kid who's not training 7 days a week, who's not living and breathing it and all the rest of it, it's still costing us $120 per child to go into a competition. Yep. So for us, we're now looking at $400 plus the petrol to get anywhere to go there, making sure the gears are in alignment. That becomes a really expensive, you're guaranteed a loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in-house tournaments are great for that.
Yeah.
For the everyday person that wants to compete.
Yeah.
Or a starter, like
and
just
the starter. That's
first comp, second comp, third comp.
Yeah.
We're going to do an in-house comp very soon in 2 months.
But I get what you're saying too, though, because that 10 seconds that they're on the mats, they just...
Oh, it's hot.
The person can at least give them a few minutes before they,
Yeah.
It's
they won't run the risk just in case, right?
Yeah.
So they're told to get in there and close it down, shut it.
That's disheartening, I think, and I don't think you can really get them to expect.
I get it.
Yeah.
But what is the solution?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. And I think
set the record straight from the beginning.
It's sad because it's a place in this country that we're really, I think, as a country in this sports side of jiu-jitsu, trying to build up.
Yeah.
Because I think competition is good for kids. I don't want my kids to get a fucking participation award. I don't want them to have that. If there's 2 people in the match and one of them wins gold, our kids, they throw the silver in the bin. That's not a win for them. So it's about, I want them to have that pinnacle. I want them to be working towards something, and competition is one of the things that they like working towards. It's like you, right? It's goal oriented, and it gives them that effect.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Xavier. There's way more losses than there are wins for anybody trying to achieve anything. Like you have to go through the losses to build up for a win, right? But I think it's a really hard landscape when you're going up against a very small percentage of people that are, you know, living it, breathing it 7 days a week and are just killers irrelevant of age.
There was a competition recently, and I can't even think to mind which one it was, but they actually had a novice bracket.
I like that.
If this is your first time competing, this is your bracket.
I was saying, unless the competition, you know, the people that are, they change it up and they have that opportunity for people.
And maybe that,
or even the parents
conversation. Maybe that's something that needs to be rallied up.
Maybe something on Smooth Comp, because everything runs through Smooth Comp these days. If you've done more than 10 competitions where you've won
100 wins.
I know.
First comp.
I think the parents should kind of have a bit of common sense too sometimes. Like if your kid is great, don't take them to those small. Give other people a chance. Like take them to those big
international.
Exactly.
You know,
states,
don't
nationals,
take them to a
packs, those ones. But on the other hand, you know, if you've got a kid that wants to do it, I'm trying to put the other hat on here. If I'm the parent of that kid, I'm like, let's get you the experience. Let's get you different people to roll with, because I mean, you know, that's important too.
I don't
know.
I think there's a fine line too, because I think, you know, if we talk about, and I understand we're very biased in reflection of our kids, right? I think my kids are pretty awesome. You think your kids are pretty awesome. You think your kids, but I've met your kids, and I know your kids. I know your kids are awesome, right? And I know the upbringing in which they're given. Addie's whole mandate when she goes into competitions is to make friends. Yeah. She really doesn't care about the outcome, or she's starting to now get a little bit of caring about. She wants to make friends. There have been a number of occasions where she's gone in to make friends with that opponent, and that opponent has just shut it down to the point where that kid has been mean. Yeah. Because it's all about the win. It's all about getting it. And that mentality coming through, it doesn't breed for a nice jiu-jitsu experience.
I think you had a class and you actually went through the whole competition experience and taught the kids how to shake hands, say thank you, whether they win or lose.
Yep.
Because I think that's what concerns me with the tournaments. It's it's once they fight, how do these kids act afterwards?
Yes. Yeah.
A lot of them boast. They don't shake hands.
Oh.
They don't
I'm big
come over and
tell the kids in the class, if they boast in class, tell them off.
Yep.
There's
just
nothing worse,
straight.
I reckon, when you see like a little 8-year-old
with their hands up,
rip over their game, and they've
At a local cop.
but it's the culture of the gym, because you've got 30 people from that gym screaming, and you're like, what about that other 8-year-old kid that's standing there trying to hold it together, but they're also holding their arm because the arm just about got ripped out of its socket?
That's what we say to them. We say, remember when you win a tournament that someone lost.
Yes.
And that's a really
stay humble,
hard.
Yeah.
So you can celebrate your win, but you don't have to boast about it in front of them.
Yeah,
because that person's going to feel bad.
Humble. Yeah, absolutely.
But
never take away the celebration of the win for a kid. But teach them humility at the same time. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So did you want to deep dive?
That's pretty much my question to you, is like, how do you deal with it? What do you think about the sandbagging issue, so on and so forth?
You know, just one thing to add to that, you know, I also tell them that competition isn't a one-time thing.
Yes.
This is long term. I've been competing since I was 13.
Yeah.
First comp was when I was 13.
Yeah.
And I lost a lot along the way. Got injured along the way. This is a lifestyle. If you want this as a lifestyle, you want to try a comp here and there, that's okay too.
Yeah.
But if you're expecting to be top level champion, there is a price to pay with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you willing to pay the price?
Yep.
I wasn't willing to pay the price any further with my body.
Yeah.
So I stopped competing at the highest level. You know, I broke my neck when I was like 24.
Wow.
You know, that was another story for that. But, you know, I've sustained a lot of injuries in my body because I was trying to compete at the highest level of jiu-jitsu. There's a price to pay.
Yeah.
It's a price to pay.
And I
the
think
hours,
yeah.
you know, the sleepless nights because you're studying jiu-jitsu 5-6 hours a day. I mean, I got fired from one of my jobs because I was training too much jiu-jitsu.
Oh, that's a commitment to the cause right there.
Coaching now. I think
coaching now.
It can happen for it's just hard to be like a high level athlete because
I think you've either got to be you've either got to be the elitist competitor.
How can you've got to be selfish in a way to be a competitor. You've got to step away, and you're a coach now, so you're giving all your time to your students.
Yeah.
So it's either one or the other, you know.
You said that.
Yeah.
That it's a selfish journey. But I recognized that early in my competition days.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was a blue belt, I was training a lot, and I was like, man, this is really selfish because I'm cutting everyone off.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, I've got to give back somehow.
Yep.
I don't want to live like this.
Yeah.
And all this information retained here doesn't get passed on.
Yeah.
Well, then where's the legacy? Where is this going? How can I help others?
Such a
Like
big
it's helped
thing.
me.
Yeah.
So I always made a vow. I said, I've got to help somehow. So since I was like 22, I was helping kids' classes for free.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to get paid. I just came in, help, assist.
Yeah.
I'd train, go home. And then I think that's how my coaching career started.
And that's the ethos now that comes through.
It's just to be an athlete, but I feel like you pay a price.
Yeah.
You have to put that
physically and mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Emotionally.
have to cut people off. You have to, I don't think it's hard to be a gym owner and
I was
try to
designated
chase
driver all the time.
Yeah.
Put my hand up for it.
I'm not drinking all the time, everyone.
I cut everyone else off. Like 5 friends, I'm like, I'm Deso every time we go out.
Yeah. Yeah.
They love you.
Yeah.
That sounds like Professor Matt too. When are you producer Matt? You got so many hats, I get confused. I just keep calling you hubby.
When was your last comp was Subversion?
No, I had one like a month or 2 ago.
Yeah, it was
I did
only
the
a month
grappling
ago.
industries 2 months
yeah,
ago.
yeah,
So that was really fun.
So you're still quite the competitor.
Yeah, I don't think it will leave
He
me
will
too
never
much.
leave him.
Yeah.
It might
Yep.
stop for a year, but it'll come back and then
Comes back.
it'll go
Yeah.
and then it'll come back.
That
And
kind of itch that you got.
I don't think
It's
he could
always
ever
there.
leave
I
someone.
feel like Grant's the same. Like he talks about maybe every now and then might be needing to, but nationals on the weekend, and he's like, "Oh, I could do this again."
That's exactly what it's like.
When I coach,
If
at the
nothing
comp-
else, it kind of every time he does a comic, reignites the passion.
Even when you watch a comp,
Yeah.
like I go to comps and I just watch them. I'm like, I want to compete now. I
Yeah.
just want to get in there.
It's a really exciting atmosphere.
Yeah, it really is.
Had like all day
Yeah.
running from mat to
Yeah.
mat coaching, especially if you've got a big team on, and you guys bring a team
Yeah.
just like we do
Yeah.
to most of the big comps. So
Yeah.
I sit in the bleachers and just watch. I'm the loud screaming mum, so I'm relegated to the bleachers and keep your mouth shut. Okay.
I feel like I'm really loud when my kids are like on.
Yeah.
I almost have to you're quiet.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're competing when you're watching your kids compete.
Do
I
you know
start
what?
sweating.
I
and-
love it when my friends compete.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for them. Live vicariously. I love competing, and I've never competed jiu-jitsu, so I live vicariously through them.
Yeah.
I hate it when my kids compete
Yeah.
because everything about me breaks. I want the win for them.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's my mentality, right? And I'm sure they want the win. Whatever that.
I get you.
It's not
I think
their
we all
job.
I'm like that on
Yeah.
the mats when I'm
Yeah.
coaching.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes
Right.
I'm like, I'm not going to coach you.
You
I'll look like an asshole.
I
I know my professionalism's going to break.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Coach, can you help her out?
That's why I have to sit in the bleachers, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to say something that's going to
Yeah.
get me into trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's usually into trouble by my children. Mom, you can't talk like that. Well, I just did.
Yeah, that's a kasha with me.
Yeah. Kicked off to the
Have you
bleachers.
I have. I competed at white belt and I competed at blue belt.
Yep.
So it was good.
How did that go? How did you feel? How did it go?
I feel like at my white belt tournament, I feel like I did really well and I was just mentally more prepared.
Right.
I think with my blue belt, I just got my blue belt a week before I was registered to compete. So I don't think I was mentally ready for that comp. I got a blue belt and I was thinking that I was going to compete as a white belt.
Okay.
So
So
it's
kind of
kinda
thrown in at
Trust
deep
me,
end.
though,
Yeah.
if you were
Yes.
preparing to be a blue belt, you probably still wouldn't be prepared.
Probably.
Because blue belt
Probably.
is like, you get
Yeah.
4-year blue belts, 6-year blue belts.
Yeah.
Like proper sandbaggers.
Yeah.
But
Or
with
like
the-
an elite
yeah.
kid,
Yeah.
juvenile blue belt.
Well,
comes out.
my blue belt comp, I went against that kid what was her name?
Kendra.
Who's been trained, she's like a world champion. Who's been training since she was 3. And here I'm thinking, I've got this. I've got my women's strength. You know, she's a kid.
No,
but it was a tough match.
I remember when she was about 14, when all of my girls decided to go in at a comp. Actually, not all. I should say 1 or 2. And it was all of my girls at the time. Yeah, the women's program's grown, but because she wasn't because of like she's like sort of like a good sized girl, even as a 13-year-old, she was mature early. They didn't have a match for her, and so they put her in the women's white belt division. Yeah, and she like annihilated them. Yeah. And here's my girls going in for their first come on. Yeah.
It was my first blue belt tournament. And someone said, God, that girl moves like a brown belt. I was like, well, I had no chance. I was happy though because I lasted to the end. Yeah. And that was the highlight for me. You didn't get subbed, did you? Yeah. I did, but in the last 40 seconds, I couldn't hold my arm back anymore.
All right, now I'm going to tap. Yeah.
I was like, oh. Yeah.
So in the space of the gym and people and humans, you've just recently moved into the space of neurodivergency and opening those kind of doors. Yeah. How's that changed your perspective, outlook, looking at humans and what all that means for you as a family and even you as an individual?
I don't think we really intended to kind of move into the neurodiverse space. Mm-hmm. But Xavier has ADHD. and I think what happened was we just attracted the neurodiverse crowd.
Birds of the same feather flock together.
Because we were getting kids that were coming in and the parents are saying, my kids are bad and they're bad.
Oh, yeah, I've got ADHD too.
And, the teachers think they're bad. But then they'd come in, and I think because you were able to just, if you've got a neurodiverse background, if you've got ADHD, which I probably think I have, but I haven't been diagnosed. Yeah. But if you do have it, I think you have a way of connecting.
Yeah. You become a magnet.
Yeah. Yep. And I think the kids just started coming in and they were just really connecting with Xavier. And Xavier was like, these kids are not bad. Like, they're so good in my class. How are they bad at school? Yeah. But it's just people are not understanding them at school. They're misunderstood kids. Yeah. Because you go to school and you just put in a box. And, some teachers are great. They upskill and they learn these things and they teach the kids. But some teachers just kind of get a degree, go in, and every child fits in one box. Yep. And we're just going to teach them like we teach every other child. And I think because they had that strong connection with Xavier and he understood what it was like to be ADHD, we were just able to work with them a lot better. Yep. And I guess with my background in social work, I studied a lot about neurodiverse. So I was able to help with the programming and help, obviously just know how to communicate with them, how to encourage them, and also understand their kind of social cues. Yeah. Have that emotional intelligence. Yeah. Which we've kind of trained our instructors. A kid that's, on the side, he's lazy. Maybe he's just withdrawn. Maybe he's overwhelmed by something. Maybe he's shy. Maybe he's just, afraid.
Burnt out.
So, a big one too is the speaking back.
Yes.
He speaks back a lot. He just gets a thought and he just blurts out.
Just no filter, right?
No filter.
Yeah.
And coach.
Yeah.
Coach.
Yeah. And as a coach too, there's a fine line between dancing with ignoring and and letting it happen, and also just drawing the boundary and going, now's not the time. Yeah. And you've just got to be strong with it.
Yeah. 100%.
Yesterday it was really funny. We have a few kids that are like that too. Honestly, we talk about jiu-jitsu. It's honest, probably attracts more neurodiverse people than any other activity. Yeah. So we got these kids and I'm teaching, and God bless, one of my coaches was trying to shut it down, but by shutting it down was creating more of it.
Of course.
And so I'm trying to teach, and I had a combined class and I'm trying to teach all these kids, and I've gone, the next person that makes Coach Bridget have to say, be quiet, is doing 3 push-ups with Coach Bridget. And then everyone's just gone, vroom. Yeah, because I don't want to get the coach in trouble. Yeah. So I'm going to be quiet, but it also was like,
I've seen you do that before.
Standing techniques.
And you're just like,
I let it happen maybe 5-6 times. I'll even suggest, you want to teach? Yeah, come.
You said a really important thing then, and I just want to come back and touch on that for a second too. Mindful of time, but do want to touch on it because you guys do it as well. And, you know, it's important, I think, to just touch on that. You made a comment that it's teaching your coaches how to be across this and to be a part of it and not to just come on and teach jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I look at the people that you've got, you have the mentorship, you bring the teenagers through, which is amazing. And it's been fantastic for Willow.
And now Scarlett.
Yeah. And it's amazing to watch what they take away from it, what kids take away from that mentor program.
Yeah.
But there is also the coaches that you have on the mats are so kid-centric.
Yeah.
They have that ability to talk with kids.
Yeah.
You know, Matt's a magnet for children. He just is. He's like Peter Pan in the space of children and they're all his lost boys. We call this ranch Neverland a lot of the time. But what are the kinds of things that you do with your coaches that bring them along for this journey? Like, have you got special programs in place for your coaches, or is it just conversations? Is it constant mentoring? What do you do?
I think firstly, you got to choose the right person.
Yeah.
Not everyone can handle kids. It's, you know, especially
I could.
Some people are good with adults, some people are good with kids.
Yeah.
You got to find a coach that's an all-rounder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And in jiu-jitsu, it's like there can be a big contrast.
Yes.
Someone could be like a full hardcore training,
Yep.
you know, old school guy, put him in an under sevens class. What if he's going to happen?
Yeah. He's going to make them all cry.
Yeah.
Make them all cry, or he's going to panic and things
Yeah.
will fall apart. So just choose the right person for the job.
Yeah.
And then support them along the way. That's what we do, I think.
Yeah.
And, you know,
We have
conversations.
weekly meetings with staff.
Yep.
We also update them on all the
chats.
programs every week. We'll have someone send them out all the programs, explaining all the details of the programs and what they're going to go through all week.
Yep.
And also how to, we always have situations on how to handle situations.
Yeah.
Conflict resolution, how to handle kids.
Yeah.
How to handle neurodiverse kids. We've got so many kids that come in that have autism.
We have a training platform behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the instructors can log in.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And they can be guided on what to do per situation.
Yep.
Not just like teach this technique. It's like, no,
Yeah.
well, what if this happens? What if this happens?
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you've got that there as almost like
what
a
if the child
resource
runs
for
off the
them
mats?
too.
What if this child is overwhelmed? It's kind of like everything is just
in there.
to the detail.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I have it in my head. I probably don't have, but
See, that's what we did. We had it in our head for so long, and it was just hurting our heads.
And we keep,
so you just put it out there.
And then we're like, I think it was only like about a year ago that we just said, you know what, this stuff can't stay in our head. We've just got to
document
it.
we'll never be able to grow.
It's kind of like a system.
If you follow us, that within the last 12 months, the school probably doubled.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because of that one move that we did.
And, and the one move was
To put
policies and procedures.
Policies, procedures.
Yeah.
And
For
just having a
everything.
platform for support.
Yeah.
Supporting your staff.
Yeah.
So
Because it's somewhere they can go, even if it's 10 o'clock at night and they're thinking about something, they can log into your system and go through that documented support process. And
there's
things
only
like
one
that.
me, there's only one Marie.
That's right.
How do we, put this information
Our
accessible
knowledge.
to everyone?
Yeah.
And you've noticed that direct correlation between putting policies and procedures in place for your coaches and your mentorship and the increase in student base.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because
And is
it's
that
us
because you-
multiplied.
That's right. Yeah. So you've taken it almost to that next professional level.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so it's why McDonald's is so
There's a
popular.
system.
That's it. And
There's
there's a
systems.
McDonald's University and every single McDonald's that ever opens, would you like fries with that? It doesn't matter where you go in the world.
Yeah.
Would you like fries with that? Because they're taught that from the basics.
Yeah.
And
We
that's
also
how they have
wanted
to be.
it to be easy, because we're obviously going overseas, Aurelia's living overseas, and we're there 1 week a month. So if we hired someone new, we wanted it to be easy for them to kind of adapt. They walk in and it's like, we're not, obviously we're giving them the training physically, but they also have all these systems in place. They can go home, they read everything, they log on. There's YouTube videos.
Yeah.
So if you will do like videos with all the systems and basically talk about everything and how to handle things.
If something goes wrong, the first thing I do is record it.
Yes.
Yeah.
While I'm talking to the staff, or if I'm not talking to the staff, it's pre-recorded.
Yep.
Yeah.
so that if the problem ever comes back,
You've got the benchmark there to relate.
Or you can even stop it from happening in the first place because the next person will watch that video already.
Yeah.
And they already know. It's been a game changer, I have to say, because everything's in our head, but it wasn't on.
Documented.
Yeah,
and
it wasn't documented.
How do I
if we're not
multiply
there, the
this?
staff have it.
Yes.
Multiple
How do I make
Xaviers.
these? That's
Yeah.
right.
How do I make 10 of these?
Yeah.
Give me an example, like one example of something that you've got as a policy and a procedure and like how it's worked.
Well, like for example, like groups, sparring groups, how to avoid injury.
Yep.
How does your coach watch everyone properly?
Yes.
Like if the coach, this is like 5 people.
Yeah.
Or let's say 10 groups.
Yep.
Coach stands in the middle.
Yes.
He's going to have a blind spot. There's people behind him.
Yep.
Coaches should always be around the perimeter.
Yep. So the guidelines for your coaches are during those drilling components, they should never be standing in the middle.
Yeah.
Too long.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to.
And the landscape is you need to be constantly moving, be spatially aware and make sure that you've got visual accountability everywhere.
80-20. 80% out.
Yep.
20% in if you have to go and assist someone.
Yeah.
Someone needs to be moved away from each other. From the group. But 80% out within the perimeter. Yep. 20% in if you have to.
Yes.
If you have to.
And it's funny, because you almost get to the point where you go, all right, well, that's common sense. But not everything that's common sense to me is common sense to the next staff member that's coming through.
And some coaches get overwhelmed. They've just got a big class. They're not thinking at the time. They've
Imagine 8
parents
classes
are watching
in a day.
them.
It's going to happen after the 6th one. Coach is
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah.
Well, the policy. Okay.
Yeah, bang. And refer back to it.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool. I like it. Yeah.
I want to say something about something too, because people seem to have this idea that running a business in jiu-jitsu is a bad thing. I only say that because you mentioned McDonald's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And what's the saying in jiu-jitsu? Oh, it's a McDojo.
Oh.
Why? Because we run a business?
They think jiu-jitsu is like a hobby kind of.
Yep.
We're not meant to make money or we're not meant to run it like a business.
Right.
I had a
Well,
guy
it is
once
a
storm
business.
out like 15 years ago going, this place is run like a business.
What do you think
We are
it
trying
is?
to make money.
Yeah.
What do you think
How
it
do
is?
It is a
you keep the
business.
lights
It's my,
on?
yeah.
It's not charity. I mean, if it's a charity, you're going to pay me.
That's right.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
where's my money? Where's your donation, man?
Make the donation.
It's run like a business. Well,
What do you think it is,
this
man?
is our workplace at
Yeah.
the end of the day.
That's it.
People go to work. This is our workplace.
I think of it this way, right? If my purpose is to help people using jiu-jitsu as a vehicle, how can I do it more?
Yes.
Well, then I have to be also a businessman.
Yes.
I have to look at this as a business too.
Yep.
So I can help more people.
Yeah.
If
I'm all for it.
If you see value in it, I mean, you're going to be paying for your coffee. You're going to go pay for your McDonald's because you see value in it.
Yep.
You're going to go clubbing and buy a new car. You don't see value in martial arts.
Yep.
You don't see value in self-defense, confidence building.
That's it.
Come on, it sells itself.
Even if
know?
there are people out there that just want to do it as a hobby,
As a
that's
hobby?
their choice to want to go and do it as a hobby,
yeah.
but they need somewhere to go to do their hobby, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, physical weight type gyms, people will go to the gym as a hobby.
Yeah.
They still have to pay for membership
Yeah.
to walk through the door.
Yeah.
People will go and play golf as a hobby. They have to
Yeah.
pay to get on the greens.
Yeah.
So jiu-jitsu, it doesn't matter if it's a hobby, it doesn't matter if it's a sport, professional, whatever. There needs to be the space to go. You don't want to go to the half-assed kind of half in, half out, dipping the toe kind of. You want to go to someone where you're going to build and grow and, because members have to pay to go there too. So they want to know that they're getting value for money.
Yeah.
You need to build a business that is offering value for money.
Yeah.
And I think the
Right.
more seriously we take our
Your
roles,
business,
our business, our club,
Yep.
the more people come.
That's it.
Because we're dedicated to what we do.
Yeah.
We're not half in, half out.
That's it. Yep.
This is all I do. It's all I've ever known.
Yeah.
I did hard laboring before this,
Yeah.
whole thing. But this is what I like doing.
Yeah.
This is what I do now. And I'm all in.
And you can see the passion in you.
Yeah.
And you
light up
learn
like a
over
Christmas
time.
tree.
Like you don't learn these things straight away. We made so many mistakes. But it's kind of like trial error. Something happens, you're like, okay, we've got to do this way. We've learned from this.
This
This
is
is what we've got to implement now
Oh, yeah.
because of this.
Yep.
It's
I
like
think it's a unique business because boundaries get crossed.
Yeah.
yes.
And it's almost necessary for boundaries to be crossed. So not only am I a business owner, I'm also a coach.
Yep.
Yes.
Not only am I a coach, but I'm also your training partner.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm sitting on 3 different levels of relationship with any one of my students at any given point. Because I'm also training. I'm wanting to get better, and I don't want you to injure me, and I don't want to injure you. So we've got this, we're on the same foot. Then we're on a coach foot. And then I'm like, even that step above that as well, is in I'm making sure the bills are paid, the lights are on, that, you know, that we've got a functioning toilet, that we're, you know, all of these other things that happen. It's such a blurring of the
some
boundaries.
of your students even become your long life friends.
Yeah,
a
you
lot
end
of them
up doing
just
a
become
podcast
friends.
with one
All my friends are through jiu-jitsu.
If she thinks she's getting rid of me, she can forget it.
You become family friends. You become
really
friends.
You do.
It's
It becomes your life in that regard.
Yeah.
Like, you know, yes, we will go in and spend 8 hours a week, you know, we'll go and train 4 times a week, 3 times a week, whatever the case may be, on the mats, but we will socialize with jiu-jitsu people. We will go camping with our jiu-jitsu people. They become family.
Yeah.
The community becomes family.
It is a tribe.
Even other gyms. Like we recently went on a camping trip with high rollers.
That was great.
Absolutely.
It was like, you know, it was great.
Do you know, I have so many friends that I regard as family that live in Texas, that live in San Ynez in America, that live in Berkeley Vale or wherever you live. And, you know, we laughed the other day. We were having an interview with a guy here, and he said, as an autistic person, you're either family or you can fuck off. You know, that's how we kind of visualize. And it's so, and Rachel laughed and went, oh, I just got to know Kaz on a whole new level. But it really is. The people in our world are family, and that means a lot to us. And so finding those like-minded people that have a common interest, you literally can go anywhere in the world and meet and build that community. And you go the other way too, and I say this a lot. We have 3 daughters living at home who are in jiu-jitsu. My husband is a black belt. I have a purple belt. We do not teach our children. Grant and Rachel are our kids' coaches. And our kids, all 3 of them, relate to those 2 people on different levels for different reasons and respect them immensely. But those 2 people also put the time into our kids. As they do all the kids. I'm not saying it's just us, but what our kids take from this community is second to none. And the ability that our girls get to go onto the mat, and the ethos and the community in which Iconic is run, means that, you know, out of the 30 men that might be there on any one night, all 3 of our daughters can go and roll with any of them, and we don't bat an eyelid. We're not cautious. We're not careful. We're like, you get out there and get amongst it. That's something special. You know, from a family perspective, that is something so uniquely special. And there's women that they will roll with too, and I'm not taking away from any of the women at Iconic. They're amazing. But I like the fact that my girls are being pushed by men on the mats to find that level of comfort, not flight. And so if they happen to be walking down the street and a man that is always going to be stronger, bigger, has that controlling presence, comes up behind them for whatever reason, their instinct is not to freeze and panic. They will react. And it might not be perfect, and they might not, but they've got a fighting chance. And Iconic gives my children that. So it takes a community, right, to raise as well. And I love that.
I completely agree with that. Just having a fighting chance.
That's why it's mandatory for our girls. I want them to at least have a fighting chance. So historically then, we've got the utopia. Where do you see it all going for you guys long term? What are the goals?
What are the goals?
It's always been the same.
Just keep doing what
going.
you're doing.
As long as possible is the goal.
Yeah.
Longevity, I think, is the goal.
Oh, jiu-jitsu will always be a part of our
Jiu-jitsu
lives.
for as long as possible. And help as many people.
For as long as we can walk and show up to the gym and teach and
And there's plenty. Our forefathers before us.
Yeah.
You think of Pedro Sauer, and you think of the Gracies, and they're all still coaching and taught and teaching in their academies. 70, 75.
John Jacks is still teaching today.
And how old is he?
I think he's in 50s. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Am I going to try? I don't know.
He's our mentor, so we're under John.
Get out of my studio.
Mass is one. Mass is one.
But like Chris Howder, and they're not. This is the beautiful thing too, is that these, and I'm going to say men because they are. There are some women, but not as well known or in our circles anyway.
Changing, but we've got years yet.
But they're still revered and respected. And that's what I love too, because on so many levels, like jiu-jitsu is one of those martial arts or sports where it's interesting that the expectation is that the coach can always get in amongst it and be at the level that their students are at, if not better. Well, actually, the expectation is that they're better. Yeah. And we know as coaches, black belts and whatnot, that, like some of our purple belts are absolute killers, and they're a handful and they're going to get us and we're going to get them. And it's on the training mats. No one's counting gym taps, but, they're legit going to get us from time, all the time. Sometimes Jaden's friggin', a monster.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He's so tall. He simultaneously takes years off his life and keeps him young.
I saw that clip with him and Windy, and I said to him, "Did your hand hurt afterwards?" It's like, you were really holding it up there. She's like,
"Yeah, it's heavy."
Such a tall guy.
That's so funny. So but it's really beautiful to see that these guys, these coral belts, for example, are still so respected.
Yeah,
they're coming out, they're doing seminar tours, and their students are just like, we are so lucky to be able to learn from them.
Yeah, very much so. I think you said one time, your goal is to be on the mats with your grandkids.
Yeah. Yeah. And that hopefully won't happen for a while.
Yeah. Are you listening to this?
I'm kind of ready, but my kids are not ready.
Yeah. One of our goals is to go overseas and kind of do a training camp with John Jacks. Yeah. It's been on our...
I'd like to travel and train everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
You spoke about that,
Yeah, that's amazing. That is phenomenal.
And I guess you're laying down those roots now, aren't you? Like with your policies and procedures and your coaches and things like that. We went to America a month ago, Grant and I, and it was only for 15 days. But it's the longest we've ever been away from the business. And our business turns 10 next year. So we're 10 years behind you guys. Yeah. And it's the first time we've been able to walk away and just go, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Because we trust the people that we've got taking classes. Yeah. We know that, everything's going to be done. The mats are going to be cleaned. The space is going to be vacuumed. The bathrooms are going to be looked after. The students are going to be looked after. Like that's, obviously always the goal, but it's a complete package, right? You want to know that your environment is safe and clean and the students are looked after. So I guess in that way, you're actually laying those foundations now to be able to travel the world. Yeah. So bucket list, where is it? Where do you want to go?
I'd like to go to Europe.
Yeah.
Train all over Europe.
That'd be amazing.
Italy.
Yes.
Yeah.
A few days later, I'll go to Portugal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Poland.
And because everything's so close over there, right? Like you literally get, it's almost like,
Sydney to the Central Coast.
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah, right. It
Japan.
is.
Japan would be a nice one.
Yeah.
Do an Asian tour.
Yeah, Japan's definitely on our bucket list.
There's a lot of places that have a lot of good jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I'd love to visit those countries.
Karen and Sean were talking about we were going to get a group together too and hit Fiji as well at some point.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm on over.
Fiji, let's go.
Yeah.
Like a retreat.
Yeah. Apparently there's a couple of gyms there now, is there?
Yeah. So Sean was going to tee up. We're going to try and look to do this some stage next year, and he was going to organise with a couple of the gyms as well. So we'll go and do a few visits and see if we can't do some
that would be great
teaching and some rolling and some
little
charity
reunion.
driving. And, it'd be awesome. Look, very mindful of time, so want to take a big thank you for you guys coming up as well. Is there anything that you want to shout out to before we call it?
Well, for anyone that wants to visit our club, We're at Alpha Jiu Jitsu Academy. We're based in Rouse Hill, Sydney.
Yep.
And also at Richmond within Sydney, New South Wales.
Okay.
Everyone's welcome to come. If you guys drop by, just, send us a DM and you're more than welcome to come.
And you're on socials as well.
We're on
so you've got your
socials,
Instagram and
Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
And we recently just got TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
my goodness.
Rolling now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Do you guys split your time between the two, or do you have like a main coach at one of the?
Main coach at both, and we split our time between both.
Right. Okay.
But with that said, I'm mostly at Rouse Hill.
Okay.
Mostly at Rouse Hill. It's the bigger gym, so they tend to need me more.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, we hop around between.
And you're good with drop-ins, anybody that's traveling through or whatever can come
No
as
matter
well.
what academy you're from, everyone's welcome. You can come in. And if anyone wants to start and they're watching this, they get 30 days free as well with us.
Oh,
everyone gets a month free.
Okay, cool.
So that's
they
part
get
of
to
our
walk
club.
in and
everyone gets a month free at the club.
Yeah. Oh, that's
when they first join. Month free.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, guys, hats off to you. I think I love catching up with you at competitions and getting to know you. But I said to you as well, you know, we've almost built this friendship over social media and everything. And it's been so amazing just to sit down and have you guys here face to face.
So good.
It's awesome.
Great.
So
and I have to come and visit you and return our.
Yeah.
No
rush.
No, quickly time flies. And how you just like, holy crap, that was like a year ago. We need to get on top of that.
I can't believe we're in September next month.
It's scary, right?
I'm sure just about years.
2026 is
10 days away.
Oh goodness!
Don't even tell me that. And I'm pretty sure it's rained since March.
Oh,
we've just had the wettest year this year. It's been it's been shocking. Anyway, that's a different subject. I'm dirty because of my farm. I want it dug out. We can't do it while it's too wet. So, guys, look, thank you so much for coming up and joining us here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
I love the work that you're doing, especially in the regards of the kids and the anti-bullying and the neurodiverse side too. So, hats off to you. Please keep that up.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, my hope. Oh, God, I nearly forgot. How did I nearly forget
I was waiting for you to kick into it. And you kind of like,
oh my God, it's the first time I was just going to say goodbye and shut down. So, okay, Hope. We got to do Hope. All right. So, you're all looking a bit blind right now. What's Hope? Okay. So, the Page family have this motto, and it's an acronym HOPE. Help one person every day.
Yes.
And we teach the kids, you know, it can be just holding a door open for somebody, smiling at somebody, how are you? And genuinely meaning that question and waiting for the response, because that can make it or break a person's day, right? And so I have Hope tattooed on my arm, not because I forget today, but just because
it's
it's
cool
something.
when I can go,
I'm
not actually asking for drugs.
Tuck the veins, get ready. That's a different episode too.
Drugs in sport.
I know, right? Yeah. Well, that's another episode. So what we do at the end of every episode, we ask, what do you hope people will take away from this episode? What's one thing that you really hope that they take away? So we always give our guests time to think about it. We'll start over here. So my love, what is your hope for this episode?
It's a really good question. Because we've talked about so many different things, and my biggest thing at the moment is about kids programming. And that I really loved talking to you about that and getting your thoughts on that and things like that. But I don't know, I guess I hope that if you're a parent out there and you've got kids in the program, I guess find out what your why is for your kids. Do you want them in jiu-jitsu as a long-term thing, or do you want to kind of make it blast or dust? And I feel like that's kind of where that trajectory may head if you push them too hard, too fast, have your expectations too high. If you just let them be kids and enjoy it and find joy in it and see that it's giving them confidence and resilience and determination, so that when they're 17 and they have someone come and stand over them and try and bully them, they can have a voice. Because that's really hard. And I know that I didn't have a voice at 17 to be able to like stand up to someone who I didn't know, who was standing over me telling, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know that I could have done what Akashia did. And that's really cool that she has that. And as a mum, you must be like,
And we were waiting for it because Aurelia is kind of like our crazy child that's just got a lot of confidence, and she'll confront you straight away. You know, she's the kind of kid that, you know, if something happens, she'll just confront you. Where Akasha's always been timid, and we were always worried. I was always worried about Akasha. Like, is she ever going to kind of just... I tell her off, and I'm like, give me something back.
Fight back a bit.
Fight back a bit. Like, I want that fight. So seeing that for the first time, that was a big...
that's a
big win for me.
And it's part of the long-term game and the long-term goal, you know, and I just feel like parents lose sight of that because of the shiny things.
Yes.
Because parents too will focus way too much on the belt and the stripes and the gold medal.
Yeah.
When it's actually nothing about that.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with that. It's about longevity, commitment, resilience. You know,
self-confidence.
And that's something I was going to say, like parents and the way that this is one thing that, you know, really frustrates me when kids walk off the mats and you hear the parent go, I'm really disappointed. You worked harder today, or you could have blah, blah, blah. So straight away the kid's like, well, my parent's not at fault, because parents are never at fault when you're a 6-year-old, right? They're your whole world. So it must be that I'm bad at jiu-jitsu, or jiu-jitsu is not fun, or jiu-jitsu is not good. And so that's the seeds that start to get planted, where kids will slowly go towards, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something else, because their parents are spoiling it for them, you know? And these are things that I, you know, every now and then I'll send an email out just to remind parents, like, just remember, you are their number one cheerleader. That is your only goal, just to be a cheerleader.
Yeah.
I loved watching you roll today. It makes me so proud that you got out there, you know, on a day where they're like probably not doing their best or whatever. You know what? You still got out there and gave it a go. And I loved it when you did that and focus on the positive, even if there was like, you know, Grant's big on catch them doing something right. You know how a lot of coaches and parents will catch their kids like when they do something wrong, and then be on them. Catch them when they do something right. Wow, that was awesome. Fantastic. Keep doing that. What you're doing right now, that's what I want to see more of. That's amazing. The kid's like, okay. You know, and it just
they really do that.
So they light up, right? And they'll feed off that positive reinforcement too.
Absolutely. So I guess my long-winded hope today would be that.
Nice.
My hope is a shout out to parents as well. And, you know, I want to premise this by saying, my husband and I have 3 children in jiu-jitsu. We're not naive to the cost that it is to participate in this environment, sport, art, whatever the kids are on there. You're investing in your children. And so sky's the limit, right? There is no money that is not enough to invest in your children. But in investing in your children in this space, you're trusting the subject matter experts, which are the coaches. And if for whatever reason you don't have implicit trust in your coaches, you need to figure out why. Because unless you hold the same level as them, i.e. 20 years on the mats and black belts and all the rest of it, you are not the subject matter expert. So fuck off, sit down and shut up and let the experts do what you are investing in them to do. And that is trust that they are going to do right by your kids. So if you don't, my hope to parents is that you're investing the time and effort to get to know your coaches, and you're identifying the benefits of what they can offer your children, and let them do it. And if you don't have the trust in your coaches, then go find a gym that you do have the trust in your coaches. Because Matt and I don't coach our children. Grant and Rach coach our children. Matt and I don't stand on the sidelines in competition. Grant or Rachel stand on the sideline in competitions, because we entrust our children into their teachings. My hope is that other parents find that as well. Stop being the blocker between your kids and the coaches. That's my hope.
It's actually one of remember when we came back from COVID and parents weren't allowed in the room?
Yeah.
Best thing that happened. Best time of my life. Two things happened. I found the parents more invested.
Yep.
Because when the kids would come out,
they wanted to know everything.
Yeah. And the kids were like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And it was like you got this positive, right? Not sitting there judging your child or thinking little Johnny over there is being like mean to your child and now we have a bullying problem on the mats or, whatever.
Yeah.
It was just this beautiful back and forth thing. Also, kids are way more resilient without their parents in the room.
Yeah. Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
And I find like if a kid gets hurt, the first thing they do is look to the parent. The parent's like,
yeah.
The kids will go, wow, but there's no parent to look to. And you're like, oh, well, and shake it off and just get back into it.
Stuff it up, Nancy,
even that validation that they constantly need from their parents when they're in the room. Yeah. They're like rolling and they're trying to get a position. They're constantly
moved
their parents.
If they're sparring close to their parent, I'm like, you go to the other side.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get my back to the parent.
And that's bad, and I get that. But what's even worse, and I noticed this not so much now because our room's so much bigger.
Yeah.
The parents are on like bleachers.
Yeah.
But when the room was smaller at our old space and the parents were really mat side, you'd see the kid do something really good and then look up to the parent, and the parent's sitting there with their nose in the phone.
Yeah.
And you see the disappointment wash over the child.
Yeah.
I hated that.
Yeah.
I hated that so much. Now it's not so much a deal. It's kind of a little bit more separate and blah, blah, blah. But
my kids will ask me all the time if I'm watching when they're doing stuff and I will say no. And there's that disappointed look, but I'll say no because I can't hold my opinion. You are safer for me not to watch. Listen to Grant and Rachel.
Yeah.
But you didn't see me get that cool
Yeah. That's okay. Grant will tell me later that you did good. So we're good.
Yeah.
All right. So over to you guys. If you could have one hope of people taking away from this episode, who wants to go first?
I think my biggest hope would be speaking around the anti-bullying space is that parents realize that they are the biggest advocates for their children when they're being bullied and not to leave it to others to advocate for their children.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing that I've had to learn with Aurelia being bullied, but also through a lot of the parents that have come into the gym and have constantly spoken about things not happening, things not going their way, nothing's going on, no one's doing anything, that they realize that they are their children's biggest advocate. When children can't speak for themselves, it's our job to advocate for them. And no one's going to do that better than the parents.
And have the balls to stand up and say it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't worry about upsetting the principal or, 1,000 teachers that are working in that school. Worry about your child.
I was actually going to say to you, what are your three biggest, if you could tell everyone three things to know that you can do or what's your advice? Three main points. What would it be?
The way I dealt with Aurelia taught me how to deal with, Akasha got bullied after that and, it taught me the steps to take. And a lot of parents, what they usually do is they go into the school, they pull up the teacher, they say, my child's being bullied. And the teacher goes, well, we'll handle it from here.
Yep.
And then they walk away and they're not proactive in the whole process. So I always tell parents, be proactive. Send emails, have everything in writing.
Yes.
Make sure that the school's responding to you in writing and you know what they're doing.
Yep.
And make sure they have a mediation with the children.
Yep.
Because if one person just gets punished, this person is just getting punished, they're getting sent away, they come back, they do the same thing.
Yep.
Make sure that these kids are put in the same room. They can both express their feelings. They can both just shake hands and really just be civil on the playground.
Yeah.
So I feel like the process is, sending emails, having everything in writing, following up, staying proactive, constantly asking the school, writing, what have you guys done? A lot of the times they'll offer counselling to the person getting bullied.
Yeah.
Like there's something wrong with counselling if you've been bullied.
Yeah.
But what's happening to the person doing the bullying?
That's
you should
it.
be offering that person counselling. Because obviously that person is broken inside that they feel like they have to make someone else feel so miserable.
Yeah.
They're lashing out. And a lot of the
There's
time,
a reason.
there was
That's
a
it,
girl
there's
that was
something going on at home, right?
There was
Yeah.
a girl that was bullying Akasha and, she was going through some violence at home. Her parents were beating her up.
Yep.
She was coming to school. She was so unhappy and we needed to get down to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
So I feel like you need to stay proactive. And if they get to a point where they're so socially withdrawn, I would just take them out of that environment.
Yeah.
If they don't want to go to school, they're locking themselves up in their room. They're not talking to anyone. Their life is draining out of them.
Yeah.
Don't try to,
Don't send them to hell every day.
yes, don't send them to hell every day and think, well, this will build resilience.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's how a lot of people end up probably losing their children. And it's a
very
tough
much
one.
so. It is.
It's a tough one.
It is.
Pull them
it's a
out.
tough
Who
one.
cares
Yeah.
if you have to change schools?
That's right.
Exactly.
Who cares if you have to move areas? You have to be able to step outside of your comfort zone and do the best for them.
Absolutely.
And you just have to, if you have to fight 100 people to do that, you have to do it. I've gone to the point where I've sent emails. I've physically gone to the school. I've said, I want to be part of this process. I want to know exactly what you guys are doing and I want to be part of the whole process.
Yeah.
And you
And
have to
don't
keep them
settle.
accountable.
Don't settle. Absolutely.
People walk away and they just think that the school will handle it. But can you imagine the amount of bullying incidents they have and what's being taken seriously and what's not being taken seriously?
Yeah.
Never leave it to others.
Yeah.
I think that's the hope I have.
Nice.
Amazing. Thank you.
How about you?
Xavier?
We're in the topic of kids today. We spoke a lot about kids and jiu-jitsu, but I also want to speak about parents.
Yes.
I hope parents can, I guess, put themselves in their kids' shoes a little bit more, I think if more parents did that, less sideline coaching would happen, less of those side comments when the kid does something wrong. And that's why I always advocate for, hey, you should train too.
Yeah.
So that you understand.
Yeah,
Put
absolutely.
yourself in this kid's shoes.
Yeah.
This kid lost today, but hey, they're here.
That's right.
They're
and they
doing better
tried,
than the
right?
other kid
That's
that's not
it.
here.
And you know what, though? You guys have raised your kids in jiu-jitsu, right? Grant and Rach the same, and us as well. When we're over in the main house, it's nothing for me to see my grown-ass husband and my teenage daughters wrestling, rolling on, bamboo hard floors in the kitchen and me stepping over.
Yeah.
I don't remember my dad and I having that physical contact. I don't remember my dad and I having that relationship that allowed us.
Yeah.
It's so different.
It's great.
And I see when Rach is having a roll with one of the boys, one of her sons, you'll look over and mid-roll, he just grabs her and kisses her on the forehead, right? And keeps rolling.
Kasha does that to me. I love that. She tickles my feet.
Rach lights up like a Christmas tree, but how many boys do you see have that kind of relationship with their mums?
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu, if you're prepared to get off your ass and get on the mats and train as well, it just brings this family together.
Yep.
And it's allowed us to travel. It's allowed us to travel into the most amazing places and still put on a gi as a family, walk in. We didn't go to the other side of the world and I sit at home in the hotel room because he trains.
Yeah.
We went there as a family.
And you meet people from all around. Like we were in Philippines and we saw a guy wearing, we saw him wearing a
Like an
Fabio
Australian
Galeb.
team. Yeah, Australian team
And
t-shirt.
we're like, hey,
overseas.
I'm like,
Hey, you're Aussie.
yeah. Now when we go to Philippines, we visit them. We
He
make
was like,
friends with them.
you stalking me? At first we were like,
Two stick
Another Aussie. Another Aussie here.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's cool, right? It opens up so many doors.
and you know what? It keeps each other accountable. You keep each other accountable. And, everyone brings each other up.
Lifts everybody up. What do you say? What is that? What's that saying written on your wall?
High tide raises all ships.
That's
There
it.
you go.
I was going to say it was really funny on the way back from Nationals on the weekend. Grant's bag got off the, when they put it through the X-ray, you carry on, and it went off onto the naughty corner one. And he's like, "Oh,
Here we go again."
Here we go." Like, and anyway, it came through. The guy didn't want to look at it. He was just like, "How did you go on the weekend?" He spotted Grant and he was wearing his iconic jumper. He must have done jiu-jitsu too. He's like, no, I just wanted to ask you, how's the competition?
You saw the belt. You saw the belt in the suitcase. Jiu-jitsu guy.
That's very cool.
You saw the gi.
You make friends everywhere.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
So, to your point, parents, get on, have a go.
Yeah, have a go.
Bring the
You know what? It's
family
good for
together.
them too.
Yeah,
It benefits everyone. They can be a better father, a better mother.
that's it.
better at everything.
And if they don't want to have a go, then just don't get involved in the process.
Yeah. Trust.
Because you don't know what you're talking about.
You're paying me money to do this. Why are you getting involved? You want my belt?
You don't go to school and sit in on your school on teachers, classroom.
I don't tell my maths teachers how to teach my children maths.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm sure as hell not rocking up to a jiu-jitsu school as a purple belt and telling black belts how to coach my kids.
Yeah.
Let alone no belt.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
At least you know a bit.
I won't go that far. All right, guys. Look, again, thank you so much for joining us here today.
No, thank you.
It's been awesome.
Yeah, you guys are amazing, and it's been such a pleasure to have you on today, but also in our lives.
Thank you. We feel the same too.
Yeah, it's really cool. Look, as usual, if you liked what you heard today, like, share, subscribe, share you guys, I'm sure your gym members will listen to this episode because it's what happens. And, I hope you've enjoyed talking to us about a little bit more about your life and person and things like that. As Kaz said at the start, we tend to go a bit deeper than the surface level. Yeah.
I like getting to know you as humans.
Yeah.
I think this space in jiu-jitsu is full of some of the most amazing and interesting people. And I think we miss out on getting to know people when we just focus on jiu-jitsu.
Yes. I agree.
And I really like the fact that
because we're so much more than that.
Yeah. That's right.
So much.
And I hope this is what the gi spot is giving people.
Yeah.
More than just jiu-jitsu.
Me too. Cool. All right. Well,
thank you so much.
Did you have fun?
I had so much fun.
I had a lot of fun. I want to keep going.
I know, right? I'm sure we'll have you back on again. You've been absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
Very much so.
All right, my friend. Till next week.
Till next week, my love.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
This podcast is a My Broken Soldier production.
And brought to you by Iconic Jiu Jitsu.